All right, last time the party decided to go on a magical adventure down in the sewers to go find where those trolls had been released from and potentially stop the issue from ever transpiring again. Lou went away, and then Lou came back and went down with them, which is very surprising to Lou because he does not remember this, and he is currently with Felrecht and the children in the sewers looking for the party to find out why the heck they are with an imposter Lou. The party also apparently has 2 goblins with them still. And here's the question. So, Bjorn, did you actually send them away, or did you keep them safe when you went down there and chilled and caught an eye on them?
I think I just screamed at them and told them to get the fuck out of here.
In that case, then they're not there anymore. So, unfortunately for you all, you do not get any goblin manservants.
Bjorn does not give a shit about goblins. Like, he's not gonna go murder them or anything, but yeah, it's up to them what their fate is going to be in the sewers of Waterdeep.
So, that's where we're going to open. How do you all feel about the fact that your goblins have been let loose in the city of Waterdeep sewers?
You're fucking Egypt, Bjorn.
I don't speak fucking goblin. I just hear you brain on about Claire kill, so I'm screaming at them to go get the fuck out of here the best I can. I can't explain it any more complex than that.
The problem is you've gone and sent them off on their own when they were just fucking slaves in a kitchen. They're not going to know what to do. They'll be dead soon enough. Think about what's roving around here.
That was fine.
And he says that a goblin corpse comes floating downstream.
That could be any goblins.
No, there are no goblin corpses right now.
It's specifically with its last breath, it's able to turn and point at him. You have no proof it's me. As he just keeps shifting and the finger follows.
The fake Lou just kind of gives a little bit of a shrug and says, well, goblins can sometimes be resourceful.
I'm not too sure about those lot considering their situation.
I am also not entirely sure about that. Well,
fuck.
Let's be off.
Yeah, can I go looking for him? Or could we? I could send Bjorn to go look for him since he fucked this up.
Aye. But how can you guarantee that I don't go around the corner, whistle about for 5 minutes, and come back, I tried.
Oh, because I know when you're fucking lying. I can see it in your beard.
What I'm saying is, I don't really care.
Hey, let's move on. Just remember, like, we've already gotten haunted dream. Well, a bunch of them already got haunted dreams because of someone we killed. Those goblins may come back to visit you.
Well, I'd like to see them try, as I wield my magical sword with +2.
You know you don't get to take that in a dream with you, right?
I'm sure Moradin will fix something up for me.
It depends on the type of dream, actually.
Well.
Oh.
Yeah. Has happened. Before. Not to me, mind you, but...
Ah, well.
You were allowed to have weapons?
Oh, not in any of mine, but yeah, I do know of people who have been called into dream worlds and had their equipment with them.
I see. That'd be perfectly fine.
Sometimes.
The problem is you need to have a bit of mental focus and acuity. Like, Uzi and I, we did practice a little bit of lucid dreaming for a bit of a laugh. It takes some thinking power, Bjorn, so let's just be on our way.
Yep. And
can't wait to get home to the inn. You know, where our kids are all sitting there happy, safe, watching over the strangers we've allowed to be employed in our place.
And
knowing that our home is secure.
And we'll be able to look over those that interesting magical item we haven't looked into yet.
I know, you keep glancing at it. I'm surprised you haven't got the full shifty already.
I'm interested. And off you go.
You're about as subtle as me when I said I was interested in Uzana way back.
Oh, I'm not trying to be subtle.
Well, I was. For about a minute, I'll be honest. Subtle's not my forte, I'll be first to admit.
Are as subtle as a blacksmith's hammer on an anvil.
But just as expertly used.
All right. So, switching over to the other group, Lou Felrecht. You are leading the children down into the sewers. You've actually been down there for quite a while because, shockingly, your job took a lot less time than their job took. And the children are constantly bickering about what way to go. And Felrecht is consistently trying to keep everybody quiet. So far, what he's decided on is he has the fidget spinner out, and he is keeping it spinning. That's what he's using for light. The instruction for the children is, if the light goes away, they need to be quiet. He has tested it several times. That also includes you, by the way. That does not just include the children. He does specify that that includes you as well. And currently, you all are wandering down the sewers. He is trying to keep you all quiet, telling you to keep things to a whisper. Are you remembering to whisper?
Well, I'll actually try to be signed with Nat as much as I can.
As a note, Squidly routinely is not whispering, and you're getting a lot of shh.
Oh, Squidly, there's a time to be loud, but usually it's above the surface. This is the time to be quiet. It's like a crescendo. Have I taught you that?
Yeah.
Oh,
no.
Just,
yeah.
Just think, what would Harton do in this situation?
He'd be really loud.
No.
He'd be so loud.
Felrecht pauses and he just kind of taps the fidget spinner to stop it and see if you both stop talking. Squidly goes, ah!
Can I put a finger over his lips? I can see him, obviously.
Yeah, you can see him. And he can see you.
Yeah.
The only one who can't see anything are Nat and Jenks.
Hey.
And as a matter of fact, Felrecht has organized things to keep Squidly up front because Squidly can see, Jenks cannot, and Nat can't hear or see when the light goes out. So from his point of view, it's better to have Nat in the center of the group just to make sure that, if something goes wrong, there are two children at least with one functioning sense that can help navigate her out of it.
It's a good thing he's heard a plan.
I think there's a reason he's a lieutenant. But if you are quiet, then he does start spinning it again and starts walking down. Good.
I got my finger on the trigger. I'm ready to cast that spell when I see that fucker who is me but not me.
Lou. Maybe... Okay, if we see anybody, do not do anything until I give the word, okay?
I'm just gonna be nice.
Right, it'd be really funny, Bjorn. If we wound up meeting Lou at the apartment, at the manor, right, and we still got Joe Axel here in disguise, we could yell at him, call Doppelganger, and fucking belt him. No one would be any the wiser. We'd be perfectly justified in our action.
Wait, belt which one of them?
The one they'll be waiting for is not the one that's currently traveling with us. I think you might get a bit of an issue if you belt him.
I agree. I would agree. I don't think you would... Well, you might hit me once.
We could dogpile him, though. Just for a laugh.
Hey.
Or we just play along. We'll see how we go. It's funny when the lad gets flustered, though. He's got no immediate, plan of action whenever he gets into a situation. Remember when he tried the fog cloud inside the fucking bar?
I remember that.
So do I.
Wait, what happened with this?
I caught him being a sneaky, shitty wee liar because he forgot to mention that weird-ass haberdasher stole some of our notes. And he got in a panic and used fog cloud inside the bar to try and hide from me, and then it just blew it aside with a fucking gust of wind.
Yeah, that's not necessarily the best option. Where did he think he was going to go after he fog cloud?
Oh no, he went right into a corner, backed against two walls. He were going nowhere. But at least he fought quickly, just not about anything useful.
I
Sometimes
might
it's more
have to have
about
a word.
Sometimes you're just gonna have to got to act and hope that it catches everyone else by surprise.
So, this is a point. Are you all at least trying to be stealthy?
We can make a pretense of it, yes. I mean,
I know Philrecht has ordered you all to be stealthy, so Lou, roll me a stealth.
he says you all, but it's her and him. That's it.
Do I have
and
advantage?
you all as well.
I know, but it's just
No,
it's the
it's very
DM
helpful.
and Lou. That's all of his group.
Oh, no, you forget there's a whole nother batch which I have to roll for. Holy fuck.
I actually have those boots. Yeesh.
Is about as stealthy as you can imagine. Nat is exactly as stealthy as you would imagine. Squidly, when he's not talking, is exactly as stealthy as you would imagine.
That's my boy.
He just ruins it by routinely whispering very loudly to you, Lou.
And Lou interrupts himself. He also just whispers, like, "Good job, you're being really sneaky right now," which is why I got a 12.
Well, for once, Bjorn can go to hardness, go, shh.
Can't hear you.
I hear you loud fucking bulger.
Y'all are walking down. The first thing you all hear is for the main crew, the fake Lou group. You all hear some relatively loud walking and kind of slapping and bumping. You hear some loud whispering, and you periodically hear a shh.
Is that a fish? Is that a fish down here?
Not you, Lou. You're not there yet. And you do see faintly around the corner a light source that seems to probably be progressing towards you all.
To be fair, we're also a light source, because we have many people who can't see in the dark.
Yes, you also have your own light sources, but you do see around the corner a light source is approaching. And you see your fake Lou kind of holds up a hand and says, "We should probably send somebody to peek around the corner to check that out."
Well, off you go, Mr. Quiet. Mr. Well-oiled chainmail, go on. You're so fucking smart.
And yep,
Leave
the
the
fake
sword.
Lou also comes up. Let me open up an area. And you do have an elf whisper in your ear a suggestion.
He has to bend right down.
Not really.
No, only a
Oh yeah,
foot
that's
down.
right. Yeah.
You are literally 1 foot shorter than him.
Oh, fuck.
I feel like we just had this discussion.
Yeah.
Yeah, I forgot.
I measured this out specifically because I arranged this for either if you or Lou was missing.
Yeah, so if we're using the height scale here, Jarlaxle has to get down on his knees and crawl in order to get to your ear level.
Jarlaxle is Sweden and you are India. Is that how? You know?
But yeah, he does lean down and whisper, "Okay, you stick along to the wall and pop out. He'll come around the side closer to the water. Because if something goes wrong, he can jump over the water quicker than you can."
I'm just gonna make it so that the first person I see, I just gotta tackle
Meanwhile,
into the water.
right about this point, you two see the light source immediately disappears. Lou, on your side, you see Felrek again claps over the fidget spinner. Surprisingly, Squidly does not say anything this time. Probably because he remembered the drill about 5 seconds ago. And he quickly gives a sign to you and says that he hears something. And to be ready.
Ooh, I'm gonna get ready.
Felrek draws his pistol and points it directly in front of him and gestures for you to arrange whatever you're going to do to be ready.
So on the bright side, Bjorn's going to go over your head.
I got a vicious mockery ready to go. Oh, actually, can I sign? Do I know like to sign for cover maybe, or spell and cover? Try to maybe suggest a fog cloud to Felrect.
You'd probably be able to mention something like that, but Felrek just kind of taps at his sword and then gestures for you. Because he kind of is thinking that maybe a spell might not be the best idea.
Oh well, I'm gonna do that anyway. I have a spell ready.
Oh god.
Just not that spell.
Felric's about
And-
to pull the trigger. Fog cloud. Okay, great.
Ah. So you all take your position. You hold.
If I see myself, I'm gonna shoot myself with the spell.
Oh god. This is gonna be great.
Also, to be fair,
I'm ready and prepped specifically for this.
while Bjorn's smithing off, Harden is still stealthier than Horik.
So yep, fake Lou does give you the signal Bjorn, and he goes to pop around the corner with you.
Yeah,
Bjorn?
I'm just gonna.
You're looking down a pistol barrel.
He's
And
looking up
I
at-
am looking at. Who do you think you are? I am.
Okay, so 1 second before you do this, roll me an initiative. This can go horribly. Oh god.
Well done.
Nah, not us. Just
No,
Van.
no, just these ones. Fucking
Yeah.
hell. Let's just, you know what? Let's see. What is it? It's a wisdom save.
Yep.
Yeah.
There we go.
So close. Or what if I use unsettling words for a -5? I'd have to do that
What?
beforehand. It wouldn't. I have to do that beforehand. I couldn't do that now.
You pop, and again, you have a feeling that Felrek's not going to be particularly thrilled as you immediately spellcast and throw a spell at your
It was a
fake
good
self.
line. It was a good line.
Bjorn,
fucking-
you're staring down a pistol barrel of two
From the
people that
corner, you could
none
hear,
of you
no one
remember."
fucking weren't.
Meanwhile,
tried.
Lou, Felrect realizes that you just cast something and is immediately very, very not happy about this, and he moves to grab you. This is
I guess
going to
I'll
be a little.
swoon.
Oh god. No, this it would be a fucking athletics. There we go.
Oh, I'll just let him do it.
Oh, you're gonna let him grab you and then yank you down to the ground?
I mean, if he insists.
I mean, he's been talking about it. He's been wanting to.
So he would immediately try to throw you. Let's just see how the fuck Felrek does this. Is he successful in this? Or is he gonna? Yep. Lou, yeah, you immediately get yanked and thrown up against the wall.
Phrasing.
Thankfully, Bjorn, he does manage to the pistol is now not in your face anymore.
Yeah, but it's also at this point where it's like, alright, Felrect, Squidly, what are you doing then here?
You hear a very loud face plant from the not Lou next to you.
Face plant?
Face palm, sorry.
Yeah.
It's
And
a
again,
smaller
Felrek
version.
gives you a
A
look.
faceplant is a smaller version of a facepalm. It's not quite grown yet.
Because I would like to point out, Felrek is in his human disguise right now as Felton, and the children know him as Felton.
Well, Bjorn would have called out Felton then.
Okay.
It's just the fact that it's a drow
Oh,
token.
yeah.
Because, yeah, he knows.
Get fell
Yeah,
wrecked.
Felton.
Felton.
Yeah.
We have heard that there was an imposter Lou.
It's the principle, you know?
Why did you cast a spell? I told you to hold until I gave you the word.
I thought of the line, and my bard sense kicked in, you know?
Your fake Lou is just looking very amused at the situation.
I do apologize to everyone involved.
I mean, would he look so amused if someone asked him, are you going to explain this then?
Well, should we get him now or not?
Nah, Felton's already solved that bit.
As more of the lights come out, the children are all going, "That's not Lou!"
I mean, we could
know.
still.
We know, but this one seems competent. Can we keep him?
I was about to mention something similar.
I was gonna say,
I like to
I
do
think all
more.
of us have been thinking that. You know, that's how Gaddix knew it wasn't Lou to begin with. He's way too competent.
Oh, I'll take his job, sure.
Dies the next hour.
The fake Lou gives a kind of. Let me actually pull the token out. There we go, so that we can stop with the two Lous. The fake Lou kind of gives a little bit of a tip of his hat, and he shifts from Lou to what actually looks to be a surface elf version of Jarlaxle.
Oh, it's not really a good look for you.
I agree. But, you know, it works.
It's alright, we already know this one.
Oh, is that what Felton meant? Oh. Hi, boss.
For fuck's sake!
Even Felrecht is just kind of face-palming very slowly. And Jarlaxle just goes, that is probably, I'm assuming, yes.
Fucking hell.
Alright, everyone. Well, it looks like the three of you got some things to discuss. I'm not going to waste any more time in the sewers. Come on, kids. Good job. Let's get on going.
What were you doing down here?
Oh, we
Don't
told
worry,
you,
we'll
sure.
tell you when we get back.
Nah,
Actually, we can tell you on the way, though.
yeah, just go to accounting. So, remember Free Strings and all was showing us where the trolls might have been hiding out? Well, he found a few of them. Found a few other types as well.
At this point, Felrecht does say, I would hold on for a moment. There's a tiny problem.
Right, well, I'm sure you could tell us that once we get back.
As probably we should be going their direction, Bjorn.
This place stinks.
The main issue would be, I think there might be a problem when we return, just because apparently Three Strings has figured out that Lou did not remember being told about the trolls.
My incompetence could come in handy here.
I mean, it's very believable that he just forgot, let's be fair here.
I can lie. I'll do it.
Yeah, you can. Yeah, maybe.
We know. We know.
No, we know that's the issue. We're fully aware of how good he is at lying.
You take
Well,
Three Strings.
We had another Lou here that was actually competent. Maybe we get him to lie.
We have a better Lou.
Yeah, you could probably do that again, just for disguise.
Well,
Are you suggesting that I
don't
turn
forget
into
you-
Lou? Again?
No,
to lie to Three Strings?
because let's not forget that whole charade was what got us into this mess in the first place. So let's get on back without any of the Lous. Just make up something on the way, and we'll sort it out.
It's all very simple, Lou. Just play dumb.
I signed an NDA.
No, you don't say that.
No, what?
A non-disclosure agreement. Very common in Waterdeep.
Yeah.
Yeah, it would be.
I mean, I guess I guess that isn't as common.
Yeah,
like
you would know that, yeah.
I'm sorry. I think it was like video game. No, they would use language like that. Never mind. Not as crazy.
And Lou would have definitely signed more than one.
Without even reading it.
This
And
is
have
just so
broken
you
the
won't.
law.
This is just so you won't say anything. I don't care about the content. I just want it to stop.
Yeah. Should never mention my name ever again, please. It's like a restraining order for your mouth.
Legally, I want to establish we have no association with each other. Ever.
Oh dear. Let's try to get back up to the tavern. We'll get upstairs, away from any prying eyes, and then we can discuss all the magical rod that you guys did find. And speaking of Felrecht, Lou, you two look awful.
I got stabbed and shot. Stabbed again.
And Felrecht just looks at you. You did not get shot.
Oh, with a crossbow?
Well, yeah, I guess.
I think that still counts.
Which one of you is feeling a bit shaky on your feet? Probably Lou, right?
I think Lou.
Here you go, lad. Here you go.
I forgot to. Speaking of that.
Oh,
That's pretty much
I
all
almost
your
mixed
health,
up for being
right?
in the sewers. Yeah, I'm almost maxed. Woohoo! Thank you, thank you. Now I'm not dying.
And how are you for walking at Felton?
I can walk. I'm going to have a heck of a sleep tonight, though. I can tell you that.
We can sleep?
I meant that colloquially.
Elves can choose to sleep. Pretty sure.
It's a reverie. It depends on how you just take the reverie.
Oh,
Some
right.
people call it sleeping.
I'm thinking half elves. That's right.
I thought half elves just sleep.
I think they get a wee choice. Mind you, it's not an often topic we had in the barracks. I just knew a few that, like, there were two of them. I don't think they were related, but looked pretty close to each other. One did do the old trance thing, full on just sitting on his bed, and the other just fucking slept under the sheets.
Interesting.
It's all hell, the guy who was just sitting there.
Didn't fucking blink either.
So, of course, at one point we had to figure out, okay, does even the reactor his surroundings? So we started balancing things at his hands and his head.
Admittedly, we went a wee bit far, but it was an interesting experiment. I think Uzana was proud of me for that bit. We made sure to be thorough. I think it got a little out of hand when we snuck in the guard dog, though.
He
With the
didn't
kennel?
wake up for that?
At
I mean,
that point, yes. Previously, nah. But I don't think it was a fair test. I think the dog was an exacerbating situation that may have tainted our results. In that it started barking, yapping, and rolling about on him. So it wasn't really playing the game fair.
What you need is a guard dog that also takes reverie.
I mean,
You're getting a bunch of drow that are not looking like a drow blinking at you, Lou.
I mean, you can't fault it for efficiency, and the idea of it's just you can't really instill it in the creature.
What if we used Cargo?
Well, Coggle doesn't sleep anyway.
Exactly.
He is active at all times. That's why we do use him for that very purpose. Mainly just get back at X's lab, though. But when we were camping out and all, Coggle will be walking the perimeter.
He's a good dog. Thing, sort of.
You're right the last bit there.
Yes, yes, he is.
If only we knew who made him.
And where it even came from.
He just gives you the side eye.
He does it in stage whisper style as well. As if he's not trying to say it loudly, but plainly saying it loudly.
He said the loud part. He said the soft part out loud.
At this point, Felric just kind of pauses. Didn't Lou make it? Or not Lou, sorry. Didn't Gaddix make it?
It was me, yes.
I just
I'm
wind
a
him
genius.
You made it.
up. Gaddix made it. I just wind him up a wee bit now and again.
But I will take credit.
No, he didn't say that.
I was gonna say if he did, now Gaddix is giving Lou a side eye.
A side and up eye. Not that far up, though.
Help!
Slightly.
Help! Strokix is having a gat. Eyes aren't supposed to bend like that.
Didn't you just make one? A gat?
That was bad.
But you have an excuse to call it a gat in universe.
Oh, God. I hate it.
But pull out my gat, TM.
I'm calling it a gat from now on.
Fuck. That's so dumb.
Oh, God. With that, Charlaxle just says, how about
Hey, well,
Lou,
we're walking and talking here.
yeah, why don't Lou, Felton, and we take the long way back and meet you all up top?
Hey, sure.
Not to brag, but I think he probably means it's actually a shortcut. It's not the long way. He just doesn't want to offend you. You're taking a shortcut, right?
I think he's going that way so he can explain a few things to you, because it will need explaining, and probably some forethought ahead of it.
I should probably apologize for the magic thing. Yeah, I should probably.
I don't know, that was pretty good. You whipped that out square and quick.
That was definitely ready. Probably too ready.
Probably two
I
already.
mean, I did specifically tell you not to attack anyone.
Ah, there you go. You shouldn't have gone ahead that way.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't really an attack. I mean, it can only really do
You've
so
got to
much.
make an identification, though. You could have burst some poor little rat.
I was on the lookout for myself. I'm very familiar with what I look like, you know.
I can
Gaddix is
imagine
just
that.
face palming so hard right now.
I don't know. Some people are not at all familiar with what they look like.
I know, but in his case, I can imagine he's definitely hung around the mirror for a while.
Speaking of mirrors,
Yeah,
See?
surprisingly enough, when you say that, you actually do notice that Jarlaxle does look at Felric.
Alright.
anyway, I'll see you guys back home.
Aye. Alright. Nah, Squidly Jinx. You know the way, alright?
Um, kinda.
That'll do.
Okay. Do we gotta be quiet now?
Not really. I mean, a wee bit, just in case. Don't worry too much about it.
If we
Okay.
run into those goblins again, what are our thoughts?
You ran into goblins? Did you kill them?
Torture.
Some. The ones who had weapons that were launching themselves at us. But we also found two that were that were slaves to them and would probably not fare well on their own, Bjorn. And someone, not naming names, Bjorn, let them loose, hoping they'd just find their way, because he's not a very empathetic fellow.
And how is that our problem?
Because we were there, we could help them.
Aye, but again, on the,
Yeah,
what
do
was
we
the
really
time
have to?
we were under time pressure. I had to get them moving. They were shivering behind boxes. The only thing I knew how to do was start yelling. I don't know Goblin. I couldn't explain the situation. It was that, or they were staying behind and getting choked to death by a cloud.
Aye, Azarex, remember, it's not a good deed if it's compulsory.
Bjorn, you also remember you had somebody who speaks Goblin who could have yelled at them.
Technically, two people.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I guess, but by the way of you explaining it, I was alone with them.
Yep.
Yeah.
Up ahead, so I had to make it. I had to make a decision.
Yeah, Harton continues to recount the tale.
Meanwhile, Lou, you and Felric get your own recounting of the tale.
Which Lou actually needs, I think.
Yeah, which Lou needs. Basically, yes, he gives you the idea that Three Strings showed up after you left. Jarlaxle stepped into your position, and the idea was that the Harpers had found where the trolls had come from the Trollslide slaughter incident. So they all went down into the sewers to deal with the problem, and Jarlaxle decided to tag along for the fun of it.
For the fun, taking my whole personality and appearance and everything.
And
I'm sure
outdoing
you're
it.
perfectly just like me, but exactly what I would have done.
Apparently, I didn't do too good a job at taking your personality because they found out before Three Strings even walked out the door.
I do have a certain je ne sais quoi, but in not French. But
He was far too
Elvish.
competent in lying.
And made far too many competent decisions in the short time frame you saw him.
I mean, Lou technically is also very good at lying and does technically make good decisions sometimes.
When it became a reasonable course of action that the kids stay there instead of coming with us, and it was suggested by Lou, Harton smelt a rat. No bard would say no to an audience.
But once Felrecht explains the situation on what happened when you all returned to the bar, Jarlaxle is going to give you a very, very simple cover story. You forgot because you saw a squirrel, chased the squirrel, ran into Felton, and then forgot that you were supposed to be following instructions.
At this point, he pulls out a diagram of the same plan.
Okay, now I want to tailor this to myself. What if instead of a squirrel, I saw a really, really, really good mobile pastry stand that was on the move?
We'll go with that, as long as it had cinnamon buns.
Oh yes.
There we
No
go.
more throwing. No more throwing cinnamon buns. We don't do that anymore.
I will have to inform Camuriel to not throw the cinnamon buns.
He gets a pass for the one time. I mean, that I can understand why he was mad.
Oh, you don't. Blue, roll me a wisdom. You do remember, because now that has kind of jogged your memory. You remember the first time you went into the abandoned warehouse. And that kind of makes a lot more sense now why Jarlaxle fell over when you entered the second time.
Oh, so you can't permanently wipe my memory.
He looks pleasantly surprised at you saying that. So you remember now.
A few days later, it's an average kind of thing.
That's actually fairly good. Theoretically, they can wipe it permanently. It just depends a little bit. It depends on your mental acuity.
Huh.
Why are you
Can
making it sound
anywhere-
like he's intelligent is a bad thing? Your mental acuity, you have some?
Yeah, that wasn't the thing I expected.
Apparently, your boss does think you have some mental acuity.
Yeah, I'm getting a raise. Hell yeah.
No.
No, the
You haven't even gotten
Oh
paid.
god, he's saying the thing again. The only one
Well,
who
he's-
gets a raise around here is Hondo Onaka.
He's getting a 2% raise of 0.
2%'s 2%.
0 is also 0.
These aren't usually exclusive. They can both be true.
This will provide an AC bonus of 0. That's better than nothing.
We're going to raise your wage by 1%. What percent is that? 0. 0 is a percent.
But yes, Lou, unsurprisingly, Jarlaxle and Felrek do lead you out a separate exit. And you all end up on the street much quicker.
I do want to ask while we're talking about the magic things we acquired and that guy we saved. Is he important?
No, he's not important.
But the
He's
shit
nice
is cool.
to have. Oh, yes. It was what I wanted in the first place.
Oh,
what
I love
else
cool
did he
shit.
have? We'll figure it out when we get to the tavern. I can simply let us in. I assume you all did lock the door behind you, yes?
Well, not in the tavern because Three Strings was still there.
I
But in
meant
the
upstairs.
house. Yeah, in the house, yeah.
All right. Oh, you have your key. Never mind. You can let us in.
Yeah.
I kind of want to see you do it.
Not that impressive. But sure, why
Not
not?
with that luck. Right, there's a click on 1 and it's already open. It's amazing.
Wow, just one cylinder. Wow.
Didn't even need a lockpick. I just put my finger in the hole and turned it round.
So yes, unlike the rest of everybody, you all do actually get there hours ahead of time. Let me see. Where was I? What I was looking.
Hours ahead of time. Squidly, where the
sorry.
fuck are you leading us?
No, I meant an hour ahead of time. Sorry. Because remember, it took you 2 hours in the sewer last time. Who's the fucking... I know he has it. Where is it? No, can't fucking find it. Oh, wait, no, it's in this section. There we go. I have a list of the fucking shit he has active, or he has around. Where the fuck is it? I can't find it. It doesn't matter. Point is, you all get to the tavern ahead of schedule. Let me actually get you there. Da-da-da-da-da. I forgot that I moved everything. Oop, children are not here. Da-da-da. And Jarlaxle does ask you to open the door, surprisingly.
Can I just try to pick it without a lock? I mean, a lockpick?
We'll
Sure.
try and show off, get a little bit of extra praise here.
Yeah, I'm already smart. I mean,
Just-
might as well be useful.
Just breaks the fucking lock.
Give it a whirl. Give me a dexterity for
We have
this.
2 guilds to deal with for that: the lock makers and the door crafters. And then the
What
home
are
security
you
guild.
using?
The key.
I turned the key around and used the other side of the key.
Somehow you manage to get it just right where it opens, and you just hear a very...
And
Oh,
so you
wow.
gotta use the key. You gotta use
I
the key.
I did a slow cap for like 5 seconds, and then the mic stopped picking it up.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I heard the first one.
He used
So
the
Charles
perfect
Axel gives you a
lockpicking
slow
tool.
clap.
He used the perfect lockpicking tool. A key.
Yeah, that's what it's all about. Backwards ingenuity.
To be fair, you could probably
So-
open that lock with a spoon.
Yep. You all grab a seat, and yeah, Jarlaxle does eventually ask Belrect for the items that you all procured. And of course, there's the fidget spinner.
Surprisingly
Unsurprising.
useful.
Yeah. He does give it a couple of spins, puts it back in the bag, checks out the rope. And it's actually kind of amusing because you see he seems to like... You have a feeling that he knows quite a bit about magical items as he starts rotating through a bunch of command words to try to get the rope to do something.
How many of them are kinky?
Oh, I haven't even tried those yet. Here we go. And eventually he pulls out, just kind of, flicks his wrist, and a dagger appears in his hand. He tries cutting off the very tip of it, puts it back together, gives a command word.
Just for
And
tip.
the 2 pieces, yes, just the tip. And the 2 pieces form back up together, and he gives it a little bit of a tug and says, "Oh, well, that's handy." And then he just kind of tilts his head, and he chucks it over to you, Lou.
And now you know
Like
you cannot
gelatin.
circumcise his rope.
It's a what?
It's
50-foot rope?
It is a 50-foot rope. Oh, let me... Fuck, I had it written down. Pull it out. Yes. It is a regular rope made of hemp, 50 foot long. And if it's cut into smaller lengths, it can be mended by uttering a special command word. It'll put it together.
Cool.
They have to be in contact with one another and not in use for the mending to be successful.
Okay, so not tied off to anything.
Correct. As long as it's not in use, you can mend the rope together.
Very nice.
Which now raise the question: how does the rope know when it's in use?
It magic.
Magic.
Meanwhile, Lou, you notice that Jarlaxle pulls out that mirror. That's when his face lights up. You think this is what he was after the whole time.
The rope's pretty good pay. That's the goal I stole off that guy. Is it feeling like he's
sometimes-
dead?
What?
But
Who's dead?
the bandits who came to kill our guy.
Oh. Oh, no, that's fine. Those are just, Zentarum.
Well, they won't miss the gold. This is cool, though, as I break the rope and put it back together.
He looks greatly amused. Are you going to be doing that all day?
Probably for about 2 hours. Then I'll go do something else, like eat.
As you're doing this, by the way, Jarlaxle is actively fidgeting with the fidget spinner and making fire come out of it.
We're 2 peas in a pod.
Felric is just looking greatly amused at the situation. He's kind of wondering, wait a minute, who am I working for?
It's fun being the one adult.
Apparently, in this case, he is the one adult.
I think the disguise was a bit too effective. Now he really is Lou.
And you all, the rest of you, you do appear back up at the... Oh, that might help if I actually get you all onto the tavern screen. Holy fuck. There we go. There the children. There, that's where I threw the children. You all do appear back up at the tavern, and I assume you do go up to the top, the 2nd floor at least.
Well, I do pop my head in just to say hello, Three Strings. We've made it back. We'll be down in a wee moment.
Oh, okay, sure.
I'll tell
Everything's
you all
good
about
so
it.
far.
I'll tell you all about it in a wee bit. Just want to get some warm water around us.
And not to mention, the tavern has just started to open, and you do have a couple of patrons already.
Excellent. No worries. Don't accept credit from that one. He's a shifty gnome. Don't allow it. As he points at Gaddix and walks away.
Wow.
He looks greatly amused.
What, do you remember that time you tried the mint red shield coinage?
No.
You had to make it out of bits of coin.
Well, yeah, that's what you make coins out of.
Yeah. I was hinting, but Gaddix made his own currency from bits of coin.
Yeah.
It was a mystery currency.
I call it Gaddix Fun Bucks.
Yeah.
Non-fungible Gaddix.
Oh, it was funged. There was lots of funging.
It was the only thing that held the stuff together. We had to discuss.
Yes,
we had to talk of a whole myconoid colony in order to get this done.
As you all get
Ox-
up into the
Ox-
common room,
Yep.
you see
Orc's
Lou's
gonna
cutting
check
apart.
behind us to see if those goblins actually followed us home or not.
Nah, they're fucking gone, dead, man. It's all Bjorn's fault. Blood is on his hands.
Yeah, you're not seeing any goblins.
Which is the only way he could equal our kill counter, of course.
It still only counts as one.
Doesn't even count as one. That was an
Yeah,
assist,
as
if
you-
anything.
As you all get up into the common room, you see Lou cutting apart a rope and putting it back together. You see Jarlaxle fidgeting with a fidget spinner that makes fire come out the top of it. And you see Felrex just leaning back in a chair, looking very amused.
I turn back to Squiddly, Nat, and Jinx. Alright, now, unlike those two, first of all, you lot have to do bath time, then you can have playtime.
Aww.
Alright, it'll only take a wee bit.
Can I play with the fidget spinner first?
After you've had a wash. Come on, you've all been in
Wait,
the sewers.
We're actually calling it a fidget spinner? I thought the players were just calling it that. Fuck.
It's a
a
twiddle
spinner.
toiler.
And
It's
don't
just
take
called a-
all day. Don't take all day in the bath either. Some of the rest of us want to get the stink off us as well. We've been in the sewer for way longer.
Okay, and they head on up.
Look at this cool rope.
Although Nat would go into this one. Horik, you're a bit late. You can't go in there with her.
We have
Oh,
cauldrons in the kitchen, right?
Yeah, I was thinking we probably should swap you in the kids' room apart, Horik. And here's the sweeten the deal. If we get you in the kids' room, then we can put in a trapdoor and a ladder right to the kitchen. What do you think?
How is that a good thing?
Well, it means you want to walk around the house in order to get into the kitchen. You can just go right down.
Yeah, you're a halfling. It's kitchen access.
Wouldn't it make, and Jarlaxle speaks up, wouldn't it make more sense to put it in the hall along the wall so that it would go straight down? And
but
all of you can access it?
Yep, but I probably wouldn't be able to convince him to swap rooms otherwise. His own personal, private, what's the right word for it? Descent into the kitchen.
And
Anyway.
a balcony.
What have you got there, then?
Well, let's see. I've got this spinner that makes light and fire. I
Nice.
gave Lou the rope. I think he's just demonstrating quite well what it does.
I think it's magic.
Yeah.
This is why I said we could just have him play stupid and it'll work at free strings.
He wouldn't even have to play.
I'm
Yeah, you notice that
practicing. I'm practicing.
the
Uh-huh.
fidget spinner stops, and then he just starts spinning it again, just like he's going to pretend that didn't happen. And then, of course, I did get myself a lovely platinum mirror.
Fancy?
Magical.
Ah, good. Specifically or just generally?
Oh, specifically. I will admit I'd heard about it before. And when I heard our associate had acquired it and was sending it to the wrong individual and was about to spend his life for it, I decided to assist and acquire it for a more appropriate owner.
Is this where you then tell us it's secretly nefarious?
No, No, not at all. It just lets you see things that you weren't supposed to have seen.
I mean, depending on specifics. So what? Like memories? Just places around you? Like you hold it up and you can see behind you if someone's invisible?
No, no. I definitely don't need anything like that. I already have plenty that do things like that. No, any pauses? Are you pretty much angling to figure out? You're trying to get him to say what it is, correct?
I'm pretty much asking him, yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I'm
me a
not angling or
persuasion.
anything, he's just pretty much saying, so what's it do?
Give me a persuasion.
I bet you can't snap it and put it back together again.
You never know. It could be a very... Again, Harton is just on point with drow elves.
You see Jarlaxle, and he's musing over something. Like, he's clearly thinking something over in his head. He just goes, well... And again, you see that tug where he's like, should I be responsible or should I do the fun thing? And apparently the fun thing weighs out. He just says, well, why don't I just show you?
Oh boy.
Ooh, this will be fun.
I remember the last time this happened. Computer was running his fingers through my brain.
That isn't necessarily what one would call fun.
No, we're not. Alright.
Alright, anybody who's interested, gather round.
I volunteer.
Might as well, it's my fucking chair.
Well, it's the most comfortable.
It would be the biggest chair.
Yeah. And going to the smallest man in the room, other than Horik and...
Just the image that Jarlaxle sits on it and his feet don't touch the floor.
Alright.
It's the only chair that Nadrax can feel comfortable in as well.
Besides, this will solve a little curiosity of mine anyways. So, who all is gathering around to look into this tiny-ass hand mirror that Jarlaxle has?
Well, I got a primo spot.
Everyone. We don't find him.
Here, I'll reduce myself so someone can hold me and get a closer look.
Just walk up to Felric, waving your arms. Up, please.
Uppies, put me on your shoulders.
Give him all kinds of complexes about his decisions.
I want to see.
Oh, God. So, holy fuck. You all do arrange yourselves. Jarlaxle, once he sees how many people there are and realizes the issue, does take a seat on the floor instead.
Aye.
So that people can, particularly the taller individuals, can look down, so it's a bit easier. He says, well, I was a little bit curious anyway, so let's just arrange with this. And now let me pull up my fucking notes to make sure I get the name right. Holy fuck.
That'd be kind of hilarious. Age play with elves. I want you to act like you're only 200 years old, not 500. God, you're a fucking
scandalous.
freak.
And the irony of the fact that Lou and Felrect are both well under that.
Well, it's also about the interspecies reviewer gag. Oh, I like these 60-year-old women. I don't like these crusty old century-old elf. The manner on them's stale. These cougars, they've got some vitality in them.
Yeah, that was a plot point.
So eventually, once he's sure that everybody can actually get a view, he muses over, and you can tell he's trying to pick his words very carefully. And eventually he's... Sorry, my brain just fucking fried for a moment. What the fuck?
It's alright, as long as you don't smell toast.
No, thankfully I do not smell toast. I don't know why. I was in the middle of a sentence and my brain just shut off. There we go. But eventually he does think for a moment and says, show us the engagement where Arizal of Vevran lost Fairns to. And you see the mirror, which before was displaying all of y'all peering over the mirror like, a bunch of vultures.
A lot of nostril hair.
Actually, it starts swirling, and it switches over to what seems to be a forest. In the mirror, you see a drow woman carrying a familiar sword that now Nadrax is holding. And she's also holding what seems to be a woven picnic basket. And she's leaning up against a tree. She has a very nasty slash across her left torso that is bleeding far beyond what you would consider healthy. And there's another slash that's just above her right knee that also looks like it's not necessarily bleeding, but it looks like it's probably causing issues. She pushes off of the tree and starts limping her way into a clearing by a large stream, while two assassins from across the way slip out from the brush. For those of you who are paying attention, you all pretty much are familiar with this symbol by now. One of them has a tattoo on his neck that's partially covered. It seems very, very familiar to the Xanathar Guild symbol. She kind of pauses for a moment, looks over, and then just continues limping her way down to the stream as the assassins move out to engage. She simply raises her sword, utters a single word that was probably a command word for the sword, and a bolt of lightning shoots out from the sword into the nearest target, frying him on the spot.
We're lucky. We're lucky that the sword doesn't get triggered like an Alexa, and the guiding bolt launches out of Nadrax's.
Oh man, Maddox is taking notes. Let's see here. Could I
This is also mute, so you can't. It's not actually saying it out loud. You can't hear anything.
Alexa, stop listening.
You're simply watching.
Alexa, smite.
No,
No! You have to be careful with that because ours is actually set up to answer questions about D&D spells.
Yeah, I invoked her name, so she started beeping. Yeah.
What a great invention.
But yes, she points. You can tell she utters probably the command word, and it fries the target on the spot. The second guy does actually back up a moment in pure terror, considering the guy in front of him just got turned into a crisp. And then he realizes he's being relatively dumb, and he pushes forward for what should be a relatively easy kill on a wounded target. The drow woman stays perfectly still until almost the last moment, where she explodes into action, and she sidesteps the assassin's swing, and instead gives a slash and a stab of her own at the assassin, dropping the man to the ground.
Give a side-eyed Horik and Gaddix as they just crunch on popcorn.
Unfortunately, it seems that the flurry of motion was too much for her wounded knee, as it gives out and drops her to the ground with a startled cry. As she falls, though, she twists she gives herself a twist so that she's cushioning the basket as it falls down on top of her. She looks borderline furious at the situation as she sets the basket aside and tries to stand up, only to get dropped immediately down to the ground again. And you can see her, she probably seems to be cursing as she starts dragging herself and the basket down to the stream, and then the mirror fogs back over.
Didn't answer the question.
Well, it seems pretty magic.
No, I mean, I know it's magic, but he asked how she lose it, and we didn't see that bit.
No, I think that I said the engagement where she lost it. I didn't actually.
Right. We could probably guess what happens next.
Aye.
I would assume, yes, she probably just died of blood loss.
And what? The sword ended up in the stream?
No, it ended up in the hands of the nefarious types, and they passed it around their organization. That's where we found it. On the belt of one of those fuckers. Aye.
Which would explain how we found it in the Xanathar hideout. That's a bit unfortunate.
Aye.
Lou, give me a perception. Just to see if you're paying attention.
I was watching, for sure.
Yeah, you're paying attention.
A picnic
Just,
basket.
Yeah, the basket seemed really familiar. It's really funny, because your picnic basket is really similar, but hers had, bright red bands on it, and yours has a light pink band around it. Completely different.
Good weaving, though. Somebody knew what they were doing. And one of the first things I picked up in the halfling village, weaving. Surprisingly, useful skill.
Weaving is useful, I suppose.
It's good for baskets, which are good for food.
Yeah, you always need containers.
Hey.
Gotta need to have something to store the charcoal in.
Bjorn knows how to weave as well, except he does it with dwarf style, with metal. You just bend it into place.
We could have a battle basket. and then
I
we
do
could
have
put
to
in the
wonder-
basket paddled bread.
Right, Luke, enough. We'll talk about this in a moment when your boss isn't being interrupted.
Jarlaxle is surprisingly nonchalant about his interruptions now. You almost think he's tuning it out.
Yeah.
Just goes, now I wonder what was in the basket. Because you would think that if it wasn't something important, she would just leave it.
Or magic
She's not-
items. Maybe
That's
D's
what
or
I'm
something.
wondering.
Well, as far as I know,
Well-
drow people put babies in baskets.
Do you have any idea how long ago this might have been?
I haven't the faintest idea.
It is a bit
I
hard to
saw
tell the
her-
age of an elf.
Well, not to mention, I only saw her about under 100 years ago. 80, 90 years, maybe.
I read in a book once you can kind of cut them lengthwise or widthwise, count the rings.
I will point out that I haven't heard. Let me think. Because I had tried to reach out to see if she could do some jobs, but I hadn't found hide nor hair of her. That was about 75 years ago. So it seems before that.
It's just weird to hear time in that sort of scale. It really is.
Wait, she worked for you?
No, I was hoping to hire her for certain jobs. I didn't think she would be suited for Brigandier. She marched to the beat of her own drum, and I don't think not necessarily that she would have had issues taking orders from a man. I think is she would have she would have issues taking orders from anyone.
Fair enough.
But she was certainly useful for certain jobs. And I had reached out to see if I could find her, and she hadn't been seen for a long time. The last time was, of course, near Waterdeep, which would make sense, considering the situation.
Hey, bit of a bugger. At least it's
Yes,
a question answered.
it is. It's led for more questions, though.
Hey.
Now I'm interested in what that rod does.
Away from the desk.
Correct. I'm going to go on a limb to say Uzana would be willing to review that.
Yeah. Now that we're not running away from a cloud kill.
Mhm. So we'll say that that is transpiring. The kids do come down from their bath finally, squeaky clean.
Hang on, let's do a check here. Did you get behind the horns? Alright, let's see.
Yes.
Good lad. Alright, you're alright. Good job, Shiz. So, while we're discussing everything, maybe the kids can have a wee play around with that one, Jarlaxle? As he points at the fidget spinner.
He
Maybe
sets
let-
it spinning,
Maybe let the actual children have a go.
and then he tosses it over to Squidly, who is immediately spinning, and all of the children are gathering around and finding this quite amusing.
Oh fuck!
Come on,
They
Gaddock, she
can
must be
keep it.
interested. Look at how perfectly it's spinning and rotating.
They are free to keep it. I don't think we have much use for it.
Oh, I just mean, to occupy them for now.
Oh no, I just meant to keep it in general.
Oh, that's nice of you.
Be a
Fair
good
enough.
nightlight for him.
Hey. Might scare the shit out of some Zent trying to jump him as well.
Yeah. But suddenly, hey, fire! They don't know it's illusionary.
Yeah.
Surprisingly enough, people can get hurt by illusions that they don't know are illusions.
Well, it applies to a floor, certainly, or a wall.
Oh, more than that.
Alright.
Nothing,
Be mysterious.
I'm just saying, an illusionary fireball is quite a powerful thing.
Probably not quite as good as a real one, though.
Oh, I
mean,
disagree.
obviously, yeah.
I think
He's
I
grinning.
prefer, I think I
he's
prefer
grinning ear
the
to ear.
illusionary one.
It's all about practical application. Come on now.
Well, the benefit with the illusionary one is you can make it do what you want. And as long as somebody thinks they're protected from it, it won't affect them. Downside is if somebody knows it isn't real, it doesn't affect
There
them
you go.
either.
Yeah, The drawbacks outweigh the benefits.
I haven't found many times where people have realized it's fake while it's setting them on fire.
Luckily, Hardin checks, and the kids are just engrossed in the fidget spinner. Not so much on how to suggestively cook someone alive.
Then again, I mean, the children also did see people get set on fire outside. That they haven't done that yet.
Yeah, that happens
That's
tomorrow.
That
Tomorrow,
happens
these
tomorrow.
words become reality.
Oh. But yes, you are basically all waiting for Uzana to come back with the wonderful news. And Jarlaxle just says somebody ought to probably explain to Three Strings why Lou forgot that he was supposed to be going to work.
Cinnamon rolls.
Yeah, that would be Lou's job, I think.
Could somebody please assist Lou?
I'll go down with you.
Martin, thank you.
Alright, I want to check how the front room's going as well. They might need a tail or two, you never know. Spruce things up a bit.
Gotta
On you.
make-
Besides,
I've got to take a little look and see how the new Harry Help is doing anyway.
wait,
Oh, if you're going down, then go ahead.
We can all go and get something to eat now.
do you trust Bjorn to make sure that Lou says what he's supposed to?
No, not for one fucking moment. I'm going.
Thank you.
Come on, we'll have fun at least.
I fully expect him to not bother covering for him.
I mean, Gaddix would trust Bjorn because that means he doesn't have to do it.
All right, let's take a look and see how you two have been going. Hello, Three Fingers.
3 strings.
3 strings.
Hello, never close enough.
I am back yet again.
Hello. Did you sort everything out?
He finally got
Hey!
he finally got his fucking head in place. Let me just.
Yeah,
look
I
quick.
may have
No
missed the
problem.
job entirely.
No problem whatsoever. So, how's it been going with you two?
The two kind of give a little bit of a wave and says, "Oh, it's actually been going quite well."
Not good, good.
3 Strings points out, this right here is Selkie Winkleton, and this is Thomas Thistle.
Hey, pleasure to meet you, Salty Winkleton.
They look very confused. I'm Selkie, and that's Thomas, or Tom for short.
Oh, Silky. I thought it said Salty.
No, Selkie.
Selkie. Hey.
There you go. Cheers.
Yeah, it's her less family-friendly sister, but's known as Salty. She works in the harbor.
Hold 1 minute. I'll get right back to chatting with you once I run these over. And she starts running it down. You see about three things of ale that she's running to a table.
Well, she certainly knows how to hold the mucks in her hands.
Although, seals are actually quite skilled in bar work themselves. The webbing between the fingers helps carry extra ale and catches spillages. But
But Thomas just gives a bit of a shrug and just says, we've been doing fairly well tonight. The take's been good.
Looks fine enough. Now, 3 Strings, let me tell you a tale. As he recounts everything minus Sir Jarlaxle.
Well, that sounds like an excellent job. So, did you also recount the whole Cloud Kill incident, or did you leave that as well?
No, I pointed out we met this fucker who cast a fucking cloud on us. We had the Scarper there, so that leads to further in. Although, now I've discovered they've probably shifted it about.
I'll have to put in a request to find if anybody knows anything about that gentleman. Right. Well, I'm very glad that you all managed to handle that situation.
We got quite the knack for it. I admit it did feel a wee bit rough on the trolls, but they are horrible creatures in general.
They are.
Especially ones that were probably raised for the blood sports. I mean, in the wild, you could probably convince one. Who knows, they might become a nice diviner. Tell you your fortune.
I don't find that to be likely.
All you gotta do is look far.
Fucking hell. I knew that was coming too. But
The best
So,
fortune seeker you guys met.
hold on, where did the cat speak out? Probably did. Anyways, so he does eventually turn to you, Lou, and says, "So, Lou, uh, about your expedition?"
Oh, well, I was gonna go with the party, but there was this food cart that had some cinnamon rolls. I could smell them from about a block away, and we got separated.
And then you forgot.
I ran into my buddy, so we just went and did some other shit, you know?
He were raised by halflings. I'm honestly
I
surprised
guess-
we didn't lose Horik before we went down the sewers.
I guess that makes sense if there's cinnamon rolls.
He's
Did you
got-
at least bring cinnamon rolls back?
You fucking didn't, you greedy wee bastard. You had the lot, didn't you?
Yeah.
I heard cinnamon rolls.
Oh,
Aye, these two can go get some next time. And next
well,
time,
we
don't.
can make a big, gigantic batch.
Aye, and don't make it sound like something weird happened to one like last time. I was about to
Something
bite
weird
into.
happened?
I was about to bite into. You said something weird happened to this one, or something weird happened to the cinnamon roll. It just turns out someone tossed one at him. He caught it. I was thinking he fucking dropped this one on the ground. I was about to chomp on it.
Nope, never touched the ground. Specifically, made sure.
Aye, thanks for that. It's nice to get a moment of fear when you're about to snack.
Oh, I gotta keep everybody on their toes, you know? I'm the super cool guy who's not a spy.
Shut the what the fuck?
Thankfully for you all, 3 strings, that does not
Yeah.
trigger something in his brain because, yes, Lou is supposed to be a spy because he's a harper.
And so I was safe with 3 strings. I definitely, I thought about
And everyone's sitting with us at the bar.
it.
Oh, fucking hell.
At no
Oh.
point during that sentence you thought, I'll close my mouth for a wee bit longer. Maybe just let the sound not get out.
It was about the rhyme, you know?
Get an eel. Have an eel. That's it. Go back. Go upstairs. You're not
Yeah, I'll sit
performing
by
tonight.
the fire. What? I was gonna go advertise.
You've pissed me off now. You didn't bring us anything back. You just ate yourself.
Okay. I'll go advertise in the places I buy food from. How about that?
Aye. Just don't get chucked out.
Alright. I'll go do that in a little while.
Squidly's far better behaved. And of course, I've got zero problem with Jenks in that.
I was about to say, out of the children, I was a bit concerned because I went upstairs and I noticed the children weren't there anymore. Where are they?
Oh, they're back now. They just scarpered off.
Oh.
They're allowed to. They've got. I mean, they were free roaming the city long before we got here.
Oh yeah, they caused no end of trouble in the yawning portal.
Aye.
You're talking a bit far away from the mic.
I'm sorry.
There you go.
I heard that
Yeah,
bit. Good on them.
Well,
Who knows? They might be going down there properly one day.
well, maybe. Who knows?
With full supervision, of course.
Well, I'd hope so. I mean, particularly at their age.
Oh man, they're getting up to all things though. Jenks, he's got himself a cantrip now. He's learning actual magic. the fucking great big smile and bake on him when we were going through town at night. You know, it was a little bit dark out there. He was able to just fire up light on a stick.
Well, it's good for them. At least they're starting to learn. They're getting ready to start their careers. Start them early.
Aye, that they are, as he just thinks. They're Squidly, slowly morphing into Lou. Career. Career.
I mean, you know, you can influence him.
You shouldn't.
You can lead him down the right
There's-
path.
It's okay. There's still hope. There's still Ned.
I just need to get that kid some whey powder.
And you just realize there's still Nat as you realize who her tutor is. And you go, oh dear.
That's easy enough. That one's fine as well. They just need to eat 3 dozen eggs a day. If cholesterol don't get them,
Raw.
they'll be strong.
They'll need to empty a glass of eggs with shells.
In a few years, they'll be roughly the size of a barge.
So, yes. I assume that after an hour, you all definitely do head back upstairs to hear what is up with this new magical rod that you've got.
Oh, if Lou's Day said, I don't need to stay that long, but I do, tell a few tales around the patrons and all. Bring up the Elven serial killer, why not? And then, yeah, back up.
Yep, you get rounds of cheers when you bring up the Elven serial killer, whose cloak is hanging on the wall.
Yep. Probably a few accidental darts have gone through it.
Accidental?
They're gonna claim accidental, otherwise that's our fucking wall you put a hole in.
It's weird that we
That's
knew
gotta-
that guy.
John's got to stay behind for a little while and say, he's keep talking about how he helped nail the murderer, but let me tell you, some when that kid was still wet behind the ears.
Literally, he came off a fucking boat.
But yes, come the hour time, you all get the report of what your magical rod does. It allows for communion with some sort of greater entity on another plane who will answer 3 questions from you. It has to be something that has already completed, as in you can't ask for information on an ongoing scenario. It has to be something that is done and finished with at the stage of the game. And it has to be, the answer has to be done either in a yes or no question or some short phrase. So basically, they can't go on, whatever entity you manage to get in touch with can't go on for paragraphs. 1 or 2 sentences max, pretty much. And the entity cannot lie to you. However, Uzana is not going to be able to tell what kind of entity you will get to when you use the item.
I vote we don't touch this thing.
I think a
I
day
could ask all
afterward.
3 and really
I-
stupid shit.
I think after tomorrow we might have a very good reason to bring it up.
Well, slight problem. The day after tomorrow, that is an ongoing thing, so it wouldn't be able to answer.
No, I'm talking about the saloon thing. Because tonight is when Harton gets the dream, and that's the dream set finished.
Oh no, Harton, you already had the dream.
Have I? Okay.
Yeah, tonight is the one where you all would get the spider wrap up the web.
Okay. That's when we
Yeah,
can
the
ask about
spider
it.
was in the dream last time, right?
No. Last time
Okay.
was Harton's fly.
It was a slightly.
okay.
It was a much bigger fly than the other ones.
No, it was a smaller fly.
They were little midgies. He was a blue bottle.
Ugh.
It's better than a fucking horsefly.
Durlaxel does perk up and say, "Where's your sense of adventure? You don't have questions you want answers for?"
Well, there are other ways to get them.
Not ones that only end with a yes or no, to be honest.
I
No,
think we could
remember
sell it.
It was yes or no, and then short phrases.
I even
So
showed Liz
it could name names, like a few different names, maybe.
Yeah, probably. I mean, I personally would like to know what was in the basket.
As he immediately snatches it and yells, "Who was disguised as me today?" Oh, wait, shit, no.
Oh, I figured this one out. Shit. Wait, take back. Can I have a take back?
Who makes the best cinnamon rolls in Waterdeep?
No, in the world.
Don't say the world, we won't be able to get there.
Oh, we have
If
to. Best cinnamon
anything-
roll.
That question also probably wouldn't work, just because it's an ongoing situation.
Oh no, they've been perfected for a while now.
Who made the best cinnamon roll yesterday in Waterdeep?
And Horde just gets pissed off because it's not him.
I didn't make a cinnamon roll yesterday. I can't be an answer to that.
But Jarlaxle does shrug and say, "Well, when you use it, I would be more than willing to buy one of the questions off of you."
I figured as much professional-wise.
Oh no, specifically, I wanted to know what was in the basket.
Oh.
Well, what would you trade for it? For the question.
Gold, gem.
Those are both nice things. Could do with more of them around the house. They're very good and decorative.
I was figuring gold would probably be the easiest.
Well, you're also a purveyor of magical items. Perhaps there's something the party might enjoy.
I don't have any on me right now.
No, but I mean, it's just a later thing. The question can wait, probably.
I suppose. And I do know that tomorrow you all should be receiving a delivery from us. As it is already for the previous incident.
Oh. What are one-eyed jacks?
No. This is related to the elven problem.
Ah.
The
This
kids
is
are
an
there, so
idea.
he's not going to answer past that.
I'm trying to think
This
now what
kid
his substitute name would be in this current situation. I can't help but just think Jack. Keep it simple. But with multiple apostrophes because it's an elf name.
It'd probably just be Jax.
Yeah. I don't know, you look at him sitting there with his feet dangling in a chair, you don't think he's jaxed. You think, what's Dobby doing in my home? And why's he got fucking abs?
Something relatively useful. You don't usually get to ask questions about things from the past.
I'm just
If
thinking
you do,
now.
it's usually...
Hang on, I'm just thinking about the fact he said, there's going to be a present for you tomorrow, and tomorrow is when the fucking fireball wipes out people in front of our house.
That's not the present he was thinking of.
Oh, there better not be a stamp around here in the crater.
Oh.
The crater smells faintly of lilac.
You want a magical item? I demonstrated it for you.
Yeah, this would have been really cool if it didn't explode first.
You're right, real fireballs are useful.
I guess, are you going to just sit on the staff for now? Wait a few days?
Well, phrasing there. I'm surprised you can't just ask the Mittervad there.
Well, theoretically I might be able to, but I'd have to look into the basket. I can only do it once per day, and I actually do need to use it for work.
Alright.
The whole reason I got it in the first place.
Well, I mean, a bunch of cash would be nice and all, but yeah, if there's some interest in trade, who knows, you might have something dusty you don't really care about that much, but it could be useful to an active adventuring party. You finally have to give it up, you fucking hoarder. That's said out of character, because I just know what he's like.
Although, maybe you could give the whole party matching hats.
No thanks.
Oh.
That's a
I don't
nice
think
idea.
they could all pull it off as well as you, Lou.
It's a lovely idea you've got there,
Ah,
Lou. You've basically bought them out or offer here.
Well, I thought the hats would be cool,
You don't think he's got those in bulk?
Actually, I
they're all
don't have
special.
that many of them. I really only had it for that disguise.
Hey.
And, well, my personal hats, but I'm not giving those away.
See, that's Lou lighting up thinking, I could ask for his personal hat.
Well, I'll ask the where is Lou's? Where's Jarlaxle's personal hat collection?
Probably in his closet?
How do I
See-
get there?
That's a different question entirely. But eventually Squidly pops up. What kind of questions could you ask?
A lot of different ones. That's the tricky part. You got to narrow it down to something that's important where you need that kind of intervention. Because, I mean, there's a lot of things you just learn naturally or just by asking about the right people. In this case, it would be a question that would be beyond just like, really about that dream, to be honest. That's one of those.
The kid looks like he's thinking of something.
Alright, you should give you a minute, or have you got something to put forth?
Would it be something like, figuring out whom he dies?
Ooh.
You sure you want to know?
Yeah, why wouldn't I want to know?
I think
Maybe
there
he's
are valid
somebody
reasons.
cool.
Or not.
Can't be that cool if he left you.
Well, we don't know if he did.
Ouch, Harden.
I don't say that bit. That's more to annoy Lou, because we know who his dad is.
And we all, yeah. Lou actually.
He must be some sort of grand shit.
I mean, we don't know nothing about him. My mom didn't apparently know where he came from. They just kind of like hung out for a little bit and then left.
That's
At least that's what they told the orphanage.
Reminds me, I probably should go around to that place sometime soon.
Oh yeah, let him know. I'll tell you this, kid. As one orphan to another, spend some time making your own life before you worry about them. You got a while. You got a way to go.
Yeah, spend about 80 years getting to know yourself, then you can set off for
Yeah.
him.
I mean, if I don't know anything about him, it's kind of hard. If I had a name, I could at least try to figure something out.
Aye. Well, on the bright side, we know at least we've got a rough idea of what he'll probably look like.
Huh?
Well, he's probably a tiefling.
Oh, well, yeah, I know that because they said he was a tiefling. And he's a bard.
Ooh.
It's fucking Gunther. I wanted to be Gunther so bad.
Might be. Could be someone else. Downside,
Gunther's
there's not that
rival.
many. Downside, there's not that many tieflings in our little community group. It's him or Castalia, and Castalia would have been a 10 if she had had him. So I doubt that.
Yeah.
To mention, it was his dad that was the tiefling. The mom was a human.
She had a crazy phase when she was in her teenage years. You find a scroll of alter self, and you just go wild with it for a summer or two.
Isn't that the plot of Naruto?
I have no fucking clue. Why'd I know about that shit, you weeb? Why can't you talk about something honest like Dragon Ball Super? Come on. Remember Jelly Vegeta? No, that was fucking garbage.
Oh no.
Aye, well that's certainly one there. I'm guessing it's 3 uses and it's done, aye?
That was what was said. It was 3 questions only. And if you ask a question that they cannot answer, then the question is used up.
How do we know it hasn't been used before?
Well, don't ask that question for one thing.
Basically, if it was used up, then it would be used up and it wouldn't. Basically, the rod's going to break once it's used.
Okay, so it's all at once.
Correct. It has to be done all at once.
Ooh. Yeah, we'll need to ponder that. That's one to keep in mind, though. As he then looks at the fact there's 2 other kids and 2 other questions.
I mean,
Hopefully
look
they're
like-
not. Hopefully they're not as bothered.
no, Nat and Jenks both. They look interested, but I mean, it's not like they have questions or concerns.
No, it's just the fact that Squidly's asking, "Who's my da?" And the other could be thinking, "Yeah, who is my da or ma?" But they didn't tell me about it. Ooh, sorry,
The thing
kids. We're
is-
selling one of those questions, so I've got to decide now who's my favourite and who isn't.
The thing is, both of the other ones know their parents.
They might do. We don't know.
Like, yeah, you don't know.
Yeah,
but,
it hasn't come up yet.
neither of them are interested. Other than, the idea of, hey, learning Squidly's family, that might be cool.
Well, I don't think we're going to get a short answer on the black goo situation, so we can nix that one.
Theoretically, that's still ongoing.
Aye,
For
same thing
Camariel.
that we couldn't just ask it who's Vizanathar.
Oh, well, we know the answer to that.
Do we?
You don't.
I don't.
I didn't
Correct.
think you did. I thought I did.
I can make something up. I can lie about it if you want.
That's true, you could. Maybe it'll convince me.
I think he's a flamingo who can talk, but not walk.
Probably some sort of elf. Sort
Elf
of,
make more sense.
just sort of a long living position, that's all I'm thinking of.
What makes you think there haven't been multiple Xanathars?
Well, I've only
So it
heard
could
about
be
it
a
since I
flamingo.
ride in the city, that's why. I have no
Hmm.
background knowledge on this figure.
Well, try to keep it that way. It's good for your health.
Well,
I don't
who's
know, they
the
seem to be
next?
making themselves a prominent issue with us lately. And admittedly, we did become a bit of an issue to them today.
True.
So I think we might have more associations in future.
Well, who knows? Maybe not. It wouldn't hurt to lay low for them for a while.
But we'll nix that one, because again, that's an ongoing thing. Technically, depending on how you term that, I suppose. Hey, no, I'll open the service. Anyone? I'll open the floor. Just on the...
Doesn't
Hmm?
Mr. Liu, don't you want to know if your parents are still around?
Well, I know I got 2 of them out there in the countryside at least. I don't know what I would do with 4. Shit.
I mean, you have an excuse for more family dinners, but then again, with the dry elves, that might be a bit of an issue.
I'm not exactly sure what the family recipes are. This is true.
I imagine mushroom related, maybe.
Oh, okay.
Crap.
Correct. It is definitely mushroom, probably a lot of rothe, deep rothe.
And massive
Depending.
crab meat.
Yeah, they do have a type of crab, effectively, as well.
But do they eat stench cow?
No.
Well, maybe
But
it
if
is
you-
worth it then.
If you ask that aloud, yeah, Jarlaxle does provide that answer of mushrooms, deep rothe, and then, yeah, depending on how upper echelon they are, stuff like that.
Oh,
And
actually, yeah,
Jarlaxle will point out if you get a name, he can probably try to locate them, considering he actually has a network of that.
yeah, I mean, have you ever heard of a drow being put in a stream above ground and ending up in a halfling village?
No, I would have to say that I did not hear that until it was from you.
Well,
And you did tell me the story before.
yeah, it's just
You don't recall telling him the story before, Lou.
well, it's possible I could have.
I might have not been paying
About
attention
his-
when I was telling him it.
Yeah. But the amount his mouth is running, like he loses track of it as well.
It's my greatest skill.
Somebody knows this, so
You can't catch me out of my lies, because even I'm not convinced I said it.
I mean,
Or
to
if
be
it's true.
fair, it's entirely possible that, depending on wherever you were conceived, it could have been one of my boys, actually. You don't find a lot of drow up on the surface.
Not Felric or Saloon, right?
Definitely not Felric, no.
If you... Felrect is now blushing head to toe again and says, I'm not even 100?
Exactly, he's way too young for that.
I mean,
Of course,
theoretically, Saloon's in the right age range, but I don't think so.
Of course, I was talking
I
about
really
Felric,
hope
not
not.
Felton. Good job outing yourself, haha.
Oh,
The kids know all the identities.
Jarlaxle is covering his face as he just realizes, oh, for the love of fuck. Now, thankfully, at least the children were not 100% paying attention.
Yeah, they're busy.
Because they're bickering about that, and Squidly's still playing with the fidget spinner as he's talking about the idea of possibly finding out who his dot is. So you have that, and Jarlaxle, you have a feeling he's looking like, holy fuck.
Lou just has an effect on dry elves. He has an aura of incompetence that spreads to them.
that's why he was put in the creek, just because they knew. Oh,
Too
no.
damaging. He's the chosen one to destroy us. Oh, you know what? Actually, kids, we should get ourselves a meal, shouldn't we?
But why can't we figure it out and then eat after we find out?
Well, we've got to ask all the questions in one go, so we got to think of what the rest would be.
And who we're gonna sell to?
I mean, so he has a question, and they point at. They still don't know Jarlaxle's name.
Alright, just
His
Jax.
name has
Hey, he's
Jax.
Mr. Jax.
Mr. Jax. Oh, he has a question, and then I have a question, and then Mr. Liu said he was gonna figure that out, right?
What?
You were saying that you're gonna figure out your parents?
Well, I can probably do that. Well, probably not, but maybe try without this magic
Better
shit.
suggestion you ask for Rod, you fucking idiot.
Oh, maybe.
I've got to admit, we don't really have any pressing questions. Gags, Bjorn, Horik?
No.
Bjorn is still down
Still
at
down
the
the bar.
tavern. Yeah.
but-
Nothing about this gang war going on, or maybe those
Well, that's
guys
the problem.
with the skeleton squid face.
That's the problem. It's ongoing, those. And the squid face, we've
That's-
already got a guy talking about that there sort of thing.
Correct. We do have somebody doing that. And he would certainly be he's making progress. I'll just say that.
And I can't think of a short answer that would be relevant for the dream issue.
Oh, we're gonna have to wait on that for a little while and see where it goes.
I also have people working on that, I can assure you.
I'm just saying, like, to get an easy answer. I just can't think of a short answer that would be beneficial for that one.
I mean, it's pretty clear, at least the driving force behind it, so
Aye.
any
Somebody
of the
wants to
simple
hurt us.
questions we know. Well, we know who wants to.
Hey, Drax, any questions pressing on you?
I hate to add to this, but I have no clue where my parents are either. So,
We should make a club. We should get like matching shirts.
Throw a lot of offense in this room.
well,
it's
I'm pretty sure they're. Well, I hope they're not dead. I don't really know.
Admittedly, probably a little bit easier to track yours down in a way.
You should have names, yes?
Yes, I do. Somewhere I actually haven't thought of that.
Well,
like the idea-
theoretically, I mean, you're downstairs, down the street, you've got a neighbor who is a private detective. If you get the correct amount of coin, I'm sure he could look into it for you.
Huh. Yeah.
Another idea. Do you think maybe even the Harpers or another one of these organizations we know would like to buy one of these? Is that possible or a bad idea?
Bad idea if we have to ask them all together.
Yes,
maybe
that
just
would be a
one.
very bad idea.
Unless they were on to take it on faith that we're going to ask and give them the right answer, but I don't think they would if they were paying for it.
Correct. You get the inkling that it's not just that, but he just does not want the other ones involved.
Yeah, he doesn't want to share.
Mm-hmm.
These are his adventures to play around with.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so we can use some of the cost of a question we get from Mr. Jax here in order to fund Nadrax's search for family. Then Horik, Uzana, Gatix, and I can just think about, we haven't seen our folks in a while. We know exactly where they are. And we'll ask the other two questions, eh? Sounds fair for everyone?
Aye.
Sure.
Yeah. You can go there now.
Because I've really
Sleep
got
on it
no...
at least.
What else do you use the questions for?
Squidly, Mr. Jax, and Lou here.
What am I asking?
For fuck's sake.
I would advise you pick a parent you want to learn about, and then we ask the question based off of that. Just because I think if it's a multi-question, they might just refuse to answer.
We'll give the young lad his first go. Then Mr.
Agreed.
Jackson, Lou.
Sounds good to me.
And should we have some backup questions just in case?
We'll think on the fly. I'm sure they won't be too impatient.
Advise that we get the wording straight, because if we get something that isn't helpful.
Martin brings ink and paper for Lou in that case.
Yeah, can I work? I'll work with Felton here on this on our nightly meeting.
I thought we were doing this now.
We're doing it right now.
Oh, what? Oh, shit.
You can just simply ask, who is my ma, or who is my dad, or even try to whinge both, and who are my parents?
What about where they're from or something?
I've got a feeling we know roughly where they are, especially if you get a last name.
It would specify who is my birth parents.
Aye.
Oh yeah, don't want to get the halflings involved.
I would even specify even further. I would ask, what is the name of my, and then insert whatever birth parent it is. Just because if you just say who are my parents, or who is my, for instance, who is my ma, you
Some
might
drow.
get a drow female who fought. They don't have to be necessarily specific. You want to ask for a very specific answer. For
Okay, so
instance, with the
name-
boy, that's probably a good one. For the boy, for instance, it'd be who is my birth father's name?
What is my birth father's name?
Yeah. What is my birth father's name
And
exactly?
who the fuck is he?
Could we tack on like a location or something like, and where are they from? That wouldn't be too long,
I'm
right?
guessing it's gonna be pretty strict.
That'd be a compound.
Okay.
Okay.
That would be a second question. I have mine. I can write that down. And I suppose it's probably going to have to be the same person asking all the questions. So,
All right. Well, hold
who
on.
wants
Let
to
me talk to Squidly.
volunteer? That isn't Lou.
Gaddock just kind of looks around like somebody else.
Harden looks at him, knowing exactly how it looks, just thinking I could volunteer him. Fuck it, fine. So I pick up the rod. Just be careful though, it might not get me accent.
All right. So,
I want to sit down with Squidly really quick and say, so you're asking about your pa, right?
yeah.
So you want me to ask about my pa or about my ma? Do you want to be like samesies or like two sides? What do you think?
Let's be samesies.
Okay.
He seems very excited by this.
Wait a minute.
He gives the fidget spinner a flick.
The fidget
I'll
spinner? Gotcha.
do one too.
Although, wouldn't the mum will probably be more useful for a dry.
It could be, but the only thing is I know less female drow.
Alright, aye, fair enough.
We can probably hunt that down from there.
Alrighty.
So, Martin, are you activating the rod?
Time to once again consult with something from beyond. It's a career.
You got this.
Aye, I do this all the time.
I'll give you an inspiration just for fun.
Sure. Aye.
My last one.
Right, wake up. Let's get some quick answers here. Even ding the rod against the wall for a second.
Martin,
Hey.
it's a very, very weird experience because your vision goes blank, but you can hear everything going on in the outside world.
I do not let on because I know pranks will ensue.
And then
Monica.
you hear something else. A
I just-
deep, resonant voice.
Yep.
What do you ask of me?
Right. As I then hold up the written questions to my blind eyes. Luckily, I checked them over first. The Tieflin boy, Squidly, would like to know the identity of his father. What is it? What is his name?
You hear a long pause.
His birth father, before you try and shortchange me.
You hear the sound of a facepalm from Gerlaxel at the wordiness here. But there's a silence, and then eventually you do hear a response. Gunther Sparks.
Fuck.
But that's not his real name.
Oh, Squidly, my boy.
Not that you all know have any
But
idea
it's what he
that-
identifies as, so it is his true name to him.
No, the meme.
Exactly.
It was just a meme. It was just a joke, bro. God
The
damn
great
it.
thing is,
I
none of you have
asked
even...
him.
The best part is, none of you have even met Gunther yet. But you know he's terrible.
I know
I
enough.
asked for this.
Yep.
I
So
asked if Pan wanted it or if wanted it to be on the table.
So now congratulations, your character is also a deadbeat.
That is not new, he's a bard.
He owns
be
a castle,
fair-
for the record.
He also didn't know. It's kind of hard to say you're a deadbeat when you're not aware.
Yeah. He also did not clear out the undead there.
No, it's a haunted castle. But
It's a haunted castle, and he's thinking about keeping it that way because then he doesn't do anything. Squidly, your dad is called Gunther Sparks.
Oh,
I know.
Sparks. Like
It's not that bad. I think it's kind of cool.
Like Sparks? Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, really cool.
Can I learn a spell that'll let me do finger sparks?
No, Jesus Christ, no.
Oh,
I just heard Brayden say that. Fucking hell.
No, you
He's
can't.
facepalmed me, not the computer.
No, we just
I'll
need
teach
to.
you anything, kid, but not that.
Now he knows we can help him forget.
I need more coffee.
It's time to go to the
Damn it.
Priory, boy.
What's
Alright,
your second question?
second question. I'll need help on the name here, if it's a case of. Because Jarlax just wants to know what was in the picnic basket held by name.
Hey, boo boo.
Erzella
Hey, boo-boo.
Vevran.
Yeah,
Erzella Vevran.
in her final moments. Just to specify, in case she held a picnic basket at previous times in her life.
It's like a monkey's paw. You gotta be careful.
I think that was careful enough, yeah?
Yeah, no, I was just thinking you're like in her final moments. Like, nice catch.
You hear a long silence. And then eventually he does get back to you. And he sounds a little amused at this one, but his response is Valstin Vevran.
Valston
You wrote that
Vevran.
down?
It were a baby in that picnic basket.
Hey, boo boo.
I think we're about to learn
Nice
what Lou's
job.
name was.
There we go. Let's write this down. There we go.
And the finish
Can
up.
I spell?
And the finish up. What is the name of the birth father of Lou L. Lou?
Lemon.
Lemon.
Lululemon.
Fuck.
You hear a
Really?
long pause. And Harton, it's a bit weird because you hear this disembodied voice chortle a little bit and give a response that says, "It is known to you, but he keeps his open sigil hidden from your sight."
He's being coy now. As I just recite that fucking verbatim.
Also, as that starts to, you start to say that, your vision goes back to normal and you actually feel the staff fracture in your hand into two separate pieces. Crutching the rod.
Almost got me a fucking splinter there. Well, on the bright side, Horik, new clubs.
Excellent. I'll
So-
just wrap them in a bit of rope and give good grip. Should be fine.
Aye.
You could probably play the drums with those too. Want to pick it up?
So what was the question? What was the response?
He just did a verbatim.
Okay.
Of it's known to you, but they hide their sigil.
Do you say the whole thing or just hide their sigil?
I say the whole thing.
And there's some musing over. Okay.
I'm looking at your Laxel.
You do see some musing. Give me some insight. Because both of the drows in the corner are musing it over.
Because I know
Have we heard of this Valsden?
I know very few drow, and in fact only 2 living males that could be his father. Hang on.
Yeah, there you go.
17.
There you go. Yeah, all of that is enough to see there's a moment where, and Jarlaxle does say out loud, well, if it's, that would imply that you don't know the house, but you do know at least the name of the individual. And then you kind of see a moment where both of the drows who are thinking things over suddenly get wide eyes for a second as they puzzle out whatever the fuck the end is.
I know of 2 living male dry elves who could
3.
be the father.
Oh, that's 2.
Yeah, I can't include you or Felrict, wherever he be right now, because he's a bit young.
Lou, you see Felric's hand start moving, and it's very, very interesting because you don't know what he signed. This is not something you know. Jarlaxle does sign back with something, Lou, you have seen far too many times from Saloon. He just tells Felric to shut up. And you see a very long pause as he goes, well, no, the name is known to you. That doesn't mean you know them.
I suppose and it didn't qualify that they had to be living.
Um. Hmm.
Well then,
Hmm.
well then that adds 2 extra names, and I don't think it's Drizzt.
No.
Could it be this Valsden character?
No,
Valston was a babe.
the years don't match up. Aye, it was a kid within 75 or so years. Aye, so aye, not the da.
Um. From what I understand from that,
How old again are you, Lou?
Yeah, somewhere in the 60, 70 range.
Uh,
I like to keep it vague.
that's alright.
I do know.
I thought you were 80.
Yeah, that's in the 70 range, I think. The big ass spider over there.
That's a very fine argument you're making, sir, but I'm still giving you a ticket for speeding.
I believe I know what house your father would be from, just by the hint. Unless, of course, he's from a city other than Menzo Baranzan, in which case I can't help you too much. But the keeps his open sigil hidden would imply the only house in Menzo Baranzan that can wear their sigil openly, which would be House Bayenri.
I
There
know that
are
one.
No, you don't. You don't know House Bayenri.
I know all this shit. For sure.
Congratulations, Sir Axel, you are the father. No, we know he's not.
And you see he's thinking it over, and he just goes, there are 2 individuals that theoretically could qualify for that statement. I will have to do some checking. Because there's one I believe you do know the name of, although I don't think you're aware of their heritage. I will have to... And he kind of pauses, and he says, well, I just got somebody to work on that.
Aye, and now you've got the name Valsden to find about. Is that would you say that's a boy or a girl's name in Drow?
That's a boy name.
Alright.
And he's looking at Lou.
Very small baby. I mean, you guys are only babies for like a year or two. I see him as a human.
More or less.
Aye. As he also looks at Lou.
Cut the rope, patch the rope back together. This is a really cool thing.
Try to thread the fidget spinner through it.
Try to set it on fire with the fidget spinner.
It's illusory. You
That's
cannot
finally-
convince the rope the flames are real.
Felrecht finally does just completely bite the bullet and just says, Lou, what's the chances that you might be the babe?
Well, I could try to put this
What
spell
babe?
together as comprehend statistics.
What are you saying, Horik?
What babe?
Oh,
The babe in the basket.
you were there. When we saw that Drow elf woman take her last moments. In a basket she was being very careful from, and Jax here just asked what was in it. We found out a name.
Well, not that I've been withholding information or lying, but the timeline does line up. And there are certain aspects of that basket which I recognize.
Certain aspects?
Oh, the shape, structure.
Material, design, the smell.
Is there anything that's not the same?
Pink is not red.
That's
Is
a
it,
good observation. How about a fucking answer next?
Oh, that's the difference.
Felrecht just kind of pauses and just says, Lou, if the basket's 80 years old, wouldn't the red fade to pink?
To be fair, why would he keep that for 80 years?
Well, that is how I arrived to my home.
It's a good basket.
It's a damn good basket. Many picnics.
Where is this basket now?
Home out in the countryside. I
We
could go
coulda-
visit.
I mean, that's perfectly reasonable. You wouldn't need to drag it in when you're making your big bit of a city.
Oh,
Be a
I
bit
could go
embarrassing. You
visit.
take a girl back to your place. Ah, yeah. Here's me award for a good performance. Here's my harmonica. Here's my birth basket.
See that blood? That's my mother's blood.
No.
Yeah, he
There
bent
was no
cats
blood
on.
on the
There was
basket.
blood stains on the basket. Coated in it. By the way, I also grew up with that sword for about 10 years before I threw it away.
Yeah. You know, I could actually bring everybody. We could all take a vacation, take a long weekend. 3 strings can run the bar. We'll all go out to the countryside. My family will love you.
Hey, we'll do that tomorrow then if nothing happens.
Oh, I'll send a message ahead to prepare a big meal. Not that they did, preparation, but they're not
Ironclad.
Swedish.
What?
You haven't seen that meme?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Oh God.
Yeah, we got into the debate. I mean, to
Scott
be
didn't
fair,
perk
I
up at that.
I did the same thing with my siblings' kids because if I feed them, there's a risk they might stay. You're visiting.
Logical.
Correct. You are visiting. Goodbye. You can have some water in a bottle as you dehydrate on a hot day and then get the fuck out. Well, the downside is we did not agree on a price, so now he knows what the information is worth, so we might not get as much for it.
Yeah,
People-
that's why I said we should wait.
He pulls out a bag. He
And
says,
just throws
well,
one
theoretically,
coin.
no.
He throws 2.
Well, the part of the agreement was to assist Nadrax in locating his parents.
Aye.
So he pulls out a bag and he chucks it over to you, Nadrax. I believe that amount of coin should probably get them started.
All right.
Leo.
Thanks. How much is inside?
It's a very heavy bag.
It would take a while to count.
Probably,
Okay.
if you had to guesstimate, at about 100 gold.
That is indeed quite a bit.
Well, if they have to leave the city, it could be a problematic endeavor, so that should get you started.
I'm actually not sure if they ever were in this city.
Well, there's a
I
start.
didn't grow up here after all. Well, not at
I
first.
more mean that the investigator might have to leave the city or hire people to go outside the city. So, on labor costs
true
alone,
enough.
it could get expensive.
True enough.
Well,
I think we can all agree that's a fair
Yeah.
trade.
Alright. And Lou, you and Three Strings have got a little assignment for you.
Mm-hmm.
There was a performer here of the name of Gunther Sparks. At some point you were in Waterdeep about 10 years ago.
3 strings is where to start. I should probably try to get a band together for bigger things too. I'll ask them when I go out into town.
Just everyone he goes to meet. I remember when that comp played. Fucking overrated he were.
Just fucking bongos? Bongos?
Yes, I forgot to point that out. That was his bard instrument. He would sit down in the bars with bongos using precipitation and minor illusion to make stage lights and shit for himself.
I mean, that does sound interesting.
Chill as fuck.
He performed well.
I mean, he is a bard.
It's just, man, was he bad at lying. And
I'm seeing a trend.
And once he learned detect thoughts, boy, he went off the end pretty quickly.
Oh, that hobgoblin.
as he dove into his mind to find out about the hobgoblin's mother, to then use it as material to threaten him.
Jeez.
There was like a 14-year-old helping me, okay?
Yeah, I know.
Bonding
The
experience.
magical girl sorceress was helping in that. At which point, Mal got to step and say, "What the fuck are you doing? No, stop! We're doing this. Just get the fuck away. Go, run." And there was a time when you got shot by a party member the moment that I turned my back.
Ah,
Because you had asked to get shot.
Reasonable.
You just asked him to shoot you.
I stand by it.
On the same night that he was also enacting a bit of Beauty and the Beast by using animate objects to make all the tables and chairs dance. When we were trying to fucking sleep.
No way that could go wrong and get people annoyed at you.
Oh no. If we find Betrayal Gun for Sparks, Pan, maybe Squidly will get bequeathed to him one of his magic items.
Oh, there are a couple good ones.
A conch.
But no finger guns. Oh, well, that's more Malikos.
No, that was definitely yours. I only used it creatively and fun. We basically, we just passed that thing up. Anyway, back to the scene.
But now Squidly is talking about how he wants to be able to make sparks out of his fingers.
No. Jesus, no. I can teach him, but I won't.
Why not? Isn't that kind of cool? Then I can have sparklers for fingers.
Okay, I'll teach halfway. I'll meet you halfway. Only your toes.
You can only perform with open-toed sandals.
You have to learn. You're gonna do handstands all the time to perform. It's gonna be great.
Okay.
You're confusing the poor
Okay,
lad.
jeez. Oh, he's so sad. Okay, maybe I'll teach him.
That would be awesome.
Just remember, though, lad, as a tiefling, it is important where you be careful where you point.
Yeah, there's a thing that happens sometimes where people catch on fire. You ever seen that?
You get below there, you'll be able to have a burning sensation. Oop. Hello.
Yes. Well, either way, at this stage, Jarlaxle gets up and says, I think it's time for me to get working on that. I will get back to you all whenever I receive some word.
Aye.
See you
It
later.
should be fairly easy, particularly if, I think we're working under the assumption that Valston and Lou might very well be the same individual.
I think loser. Man.
Aye, Lou rolls off the tongue a bit better, but, maybe there's some big heritage in that there of Valston name.
Yeah, alliteration is good as well.
I mean, I was about to say it could have been some notable figure, but if it's a boy's name, that probably isn't the case in Men's and Baronson.
Correct. Well, I'd also like to mention that Erzella was actually from the surface. She never was in the Underdark.
Oh.
So that would be, theoretically, she could have family up on the surface.
And that might explain why I am the way I am.
Pretty
No,
sure it was
I
the
don't think
halflings
so.
that did that.
It was probably the halflings, yeah.
That
Maybe
is
a
far
good
more
meal.
likely.
Because people
Well,
will look at you and think, oh yeah, he did run off after a cinnamon bun truck.
Yeah,
This
it's a
is
useful
what-
disguise.
Not surprise anybody at all. And he gives a little bit of a shrug and says, whenever you wish to return, Felton, we'll have a conversation, but you can stay if you wish. And he kind of hems and haws and just goes, I'll stay a little bit. I can, check out the tavern for a little bit, see if anybody pops by. And you do see Jarlaxle kind of gives you a little bit of a nod to everybody, and he goes out the front door.
Hey, Zord must be busy if he's not here tonight.
Yeah, maybe there's another parade coming up.
As Harden quickly leads to get a look at Jarlaxle's expression.
Give me an insight, I guess.
Nope.
He doesn't look like he has much of a reaction to that. Felrecht, however, does respond, well, I do know that Zord's busy tonight, so I
figured
don't
as
think
much.
he'll be coming round.
He is busy in general, after all.
Sometimes.
And they've got another parade coming up in a few days, eh?
Although I also know that apparently probably the ladies are demanding on him again, too.
Well, we don't need to worry about that. We could just say his paperwork was keeping him busy. As he gestures at the fucking kids sitting in the room.
We know about ladies keeping people busy.
Oh, do you? I'm gonna blame
Yeah.
you on that, Lou.
It's those taxes again, you know? Accountants.
I mean, that's why the people go to the ladies on the streets and then they go up to their rooms.
I'm getting flashbacks. Are you, Pan? It's when the teenage sorceress in that group thought that they were just having a conversation. Because one of her older sisters would often have conversation with guys upstairs when she was sitting down there drinking beer.
Yeah, for a few hours. It's a very
And
long,
she was 12.
in-depth conversation.
She was a heavy drinking teenager.
Adventuring life.
Yep.
Yeah, you go upstairs, you pay some money, and then they talk a lot.
That's
Best ones don't.
That's enough to know about. Yep, that'll do.
Felrecht is yet again blushing from head to toe again.
It's your fault. You broached it.
I didn't mean to.
You know, you're getting a lot like Lou these days. Why don't you two just go upstairs?
Yet
You can have
again,
tea.
he's gotten redder.
If you want, you can hang a belt on the doorknob just in case you don't want people knocking.
Now you've confused him. What's
Look.
that for?
Well, it's if you don't want to be interrupted.
Is this a human custom I'm unaware of? You put belts on doors to say that you're having a private conversation? Wouldn't
Well,
people just then go to the door and then listen into your conversation?
only if they're deeply nosy. Some people respect that kind of signal.
Civilized people use red signs.
Red signs?
Still things hang on the doorknob.
It's just,
Someone can
warn
say,
them,
"Do
don't
not
just
disturb."
burst in. At least knock first.
Yeah, often for, from the nice
Wouldn't-
hotels, housekeeping or whatnot.
It's the kind of thing that would also stop teleporters coming in. Usually, if they're polite.
I'm confused.
I mean, I don't know how it's in Drow society, but up here there is something like a sense of decency. You don't pry into everyone's secrets.
Well, I mean,
Fucking Rich
Down
coming
here.
from him, listening in on Lou's room multiple times, waiting for some sneaky drow.
Well, that was planned.
You and Gaddix.
yeah.
Yeah, that's not the same thing.
That was, yeah. Lou was in on it.
Dun,
I
dun,
mean-
dun, dun, dun.
You
And
wouldn't want to
fair,
get
it was
caught?
not- to be fair, it was not really to spy on them, just to.
To figure out if he got caught.
Well, it's a case of
Yeah.
here you're an actual guest of a house and all, not an interloper, so,
Yeah.
But, I mean, for us, yeah, you wouldn't want to be caught sneaking around and listening on the door, but if you hung a sign up saying don't listen, everybody would be wanting to listen. Because that's probably information that you could then use against somebody.
Yeah,
It's
that's
not-
the difference between down there and up here.
It's also not necessarily about just conversations.
Well, I mean, to be fair, some are a wee bit nosy at times as he just glances over the kids. Probably listening on things they shouldn't do at night.
To be fair, we could have a better meeting place.
Lou, what other things would you not want if it was other than questions?
I mean, we could find a better place for meeting, but... that's my chair. That's a good chair.
I think we can move it magically.
I'm confused. So you wouldn't. What else would you not want people to listen into other than conversation?
Well, for example, if you're, in Gagg's case, actually, protecting his inventions.
Lots of banging, yeah. Lots of hammers and stuff.
If he's working in there, he puts Coggo out front. Don't need someone looking over his
Yeah,
shoulder.
or if there's something that you won't get surprised by. So
It's not
basically,
even getting mentioned
Not
about the
just-
fact that Kago is there right now.
it's more of a sign that if you absolutely have to enter, at least knock first.
Aye. It's a courtesy.
It's more of a the doctor is out sign.
I thought you're always supposed to knock if there's a closed door.
Aye. But, you get used to... You get comfortable with people, you get used to things, sometimes you forget.
A reminder
Yeah.
can't hurt.
Or, someone's come screaming into your room. There was a fly in my dream.
You guys ever think we were too mean to him?
Probably.
Yeah, me neither.
And again, at
Um,
that point, fuck him.
I will point out he was a bit of a dickhead.
Yeah, he was a horrible person. Got what was coming to him. And now he's just trying to make a comeback.
I certainly hope it's more something. I don't know.
It'll be dealt
I'd
with.
rather. Hopefully, it'll be done and over with shortly.
I've no problem with putting him back in the ground again. Just because he might be a ghost or something does not mean he's beyond me. I've quite a penchant for that sort of thing.
And it will be better equipped next time.
I kind of wish I was there to see it. Kribbig said it was quite impressive. You did quite well, Lou.
It went
was
fast.
Hilarious. Like a little sad in a way, but the fact is, Lou completely disabled him in one fell swoop.
He basically died on his knees.
With impotent rage, just burning in his eyes. He couldn't lift a finger, couldn't do a thing but wait for it all to happen. Like I said, it's not the most sort of, like, Bars wouldn't be telling stories about that kind of fight, but it seemed about right for what he deserved.
Yeah, it was
Go on.
It was a dirty way to die for a dirty guy. It was unfortunate, but it had to happen.
They were done dirt cheap.
Well, I mean, theoretically, he didn't die there. He died on the hangman's noose.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was
principle,
fate
though.
sealed.
He wasn't getting free.
Good.
Also got Lou here to show him how to do a proper punch on him. Knocked his jaw right proper.
Yeah, maybe I'll get into boxing.
Yeah, we need someone to hold the round sign. You remember that old advert? I don't remember what it was for, but it showed it was a gif of just a dude who kept on going to the gym, looking at the poster of a big boxer, and it turns out he wanted to be the round card girl instead.
Oh.
But he had that confidence.
Don't let your dreams be dreams.
Okay. Well, if there's no more business, some Wayans need to get themselves a bit of a dinner, and then we can get to bed.
A bit early.
Well, I mean, we're not going the right way, but you need to get fed, we need to get fed, and I don't think we're going to be doing a whole lot tonight.
Okay. So, Mr. Lou, can I learn how to do the sparks yet?
That one's gonna take some more training to be safe. We'll
Plus
start you out with some more simple stuff.
You can ask him more during the day. Right now, him and Felton have got things to talk about.
We do?
I thought you did.
Well, not particular.
You can always debate what kind of best kind of tea is.
I'm not really a tea person.
Well, you're wrong. I'm gonna make tea.
I guess I'll try your tea.
You have to.
Okay.
And now we have 5 pots of tea boiling in this house as well. Oh, watch. This is how we do it in Northland. This is the dwarven tea. This is the dwarven tea. You've got to squeeze it out of a rum barrel. That's just alcohol. Aye, but then you add more alcohol.
Oh God.
The important thing about dwarven tea is not so much how many leaves of tea you put in, but how much rum you pour in.
Now, when the tea leaf shrivels up to a fine powder, you know it's the good shit.
Yeah.
To be honest, though, this is more
1 pint to 1 leaf.
To be honest, this is a coastal version. Normally, tea in dwarven terms is simple. It's just tequila, ethanol, alcohol. All 3 of those in great quantities.
Yeah, ethanol is what what Kaga runs on. So yeah, it's pretty easy to get.
So I assume you all head on down to the bar-ish.
Yeah. Taking time to recount tales, entertain the crowd.
Yeah, as they come in, that's basically where. Basically, and of course, that's when he's standing there baffled at the broken training during being called to the Sarge. But Sarge, I just did what he told me to do. Followed by a lot of laughter from the rest of the crowd. This is the end of a long story.
Oh, if you're going to be telling that one, let me continue on with what you did after the fact.
But yes, the night continues on, and eventually, Harton, you get pulled aside by poor Felrecht, and he looks like he has a question.
Alrighty, I can see you're bursting with curiosity here. Let's hear it.
I have a question about Lou.
Oh, we have many, but go ahead. I'll see if I can answer this one. I think most are beyond me, though.
Do you know which way he swings? Am I barking up the wrong tree?
I've honestly never considered it. I'll be honest with you here, but I could go and ask him.
Okay.
I'm not going to mention your name involved in here.
He looks very relieved.
I could though. I'd probably narrow it down a bit. I won't.
He goes white and
Yeah,
then
I just want to see him panic
just
for a
looks-
second.
Yeah.
I'm winding you up. It'll be fine. Don't worry. Sure. I'll give him. I might as well ask him. He's probably just fucking about without a rope still.
Okay.
I make 4 pieces and put them all together as one big piece, huh?
Lou, what do I catch you doing when I head back into the house?
He's put it into 5 10-foot segments, and he's attaching them all differently and then all together.
So I see you're
Somehow
processing
ending
your...
up with just
Go on.
ending up with just 50 foot in different sections.
Yep. So I see you're processing your knowledge of your origins quite well here.
I don't think I know how to tie a knot.
Well, I can show you if you want.
Well, this is the perfect practice rope.
Apparently it's decent enough,
I'll stop now. Anyway, what's up?
Not really got a lot going on in the head right now. Just sort of taking a moment on the wind a bit. Might as well have a wee chat with you.
Yeah, it's been a hell of a few days.
It certainly has, ever since we got off the boat.
Hey, really, how did you know it wasn't me?
Oh,
Yeah,
right,
you're
that
all
there.
Axel.
Well, you see, whenever we were deciding on the course of action, the kids wanted to come along. And then you, being Jarlaxle, immediately said, no, it's not safe for them. And I knew you'd side with me instead. And you'd say, it's probably a good learning experience. Let them come along, it'd be fun.
It would have been good. They could have learned a few things about the sewers and how gross they are.
And that's exactly when I knew. Matney was very sure of himself of each of his deceptions.
I'm technically very good at lying.
It also helped when Nadrax just got all in his business and it became very obvious.
He didn't just cast the spell and run away?
No, he tried to. He was going to, but then the kids were sitting there.
Ah.
And there shouldn't be no one just yet. I mean, in the grand scheme of things, it probably wouldn't matter a whole lot, but, might as well protect identities that exist.
It's all going to fall apart eventually. There's too many names involved now. I mean, how many Jarlaxle's 5 guys now? He's going to make me a burger?
I mean, he's me right now. We swapped
What?
earlier.
Where's your hat?
On my head.
What the hell?
My
Those two
God.
lines are perfect. Where's your hat? On my head. My God. Nah, fuck him. He couldn't do my voice. Again, that was part of the issue with the Lou disguise. He's a bit too sure of what he said. Not enough panic.
Yeah, I think it's thinking on the fly is what I think of it as.
Aye. So what do you think then, Al Squidley's da? You ever heard of Gun for Sparks?
Well, I've been performing in this town for a few years. Would I have heard of it? Do you think, Rena?
Give me a history.
Would you have heard of yourself?
I mean, you think you might have heard the name? But then again, it could have also just been, like a particular brand of tequila.
He might have been hawking it, yes.
That's pretty great. It's
The bottle is in the shape of my hand, pointing a finger.
And then out of the alcohol comes out of the fingertip, like my magic that I do.
God damn it.
And if you pay a little
Wait,
bit
does he
extra...
actually do finger guns?
Yes,
Yeah, that's
he
his
does.
thing.
That was his
Yeah,
magic
that's his
item.
picture.
That's his finger guns, magic missiles, right? Is that-
Yeah.
Yeah.
You see, I just came up with the finger sparks just because I thought that was a cute idea. I
Oh,
didn't
no,
actually mean it that way.
everyone here thought you were probably thought you were playing into. That's
Hey,
what
that's
he
why I
does.
said no.
We're all
No,
like,
no,
oh,
that's-
that's what he does.
That's actually not what I was thinking of.
That's
Okay.
hilarious. 'Cause that's literally his thing.
It's
I
horrible,
forgot
isn't
about
it? I mean,
that.
Pan, you could always just go. You could always just put the picture of Gun for Sparks in the tabletop so we can see.
Grab it.
Bit of a nasty, bit of a rude thing, though. You know, get a girl in trouble, head off.
God.
Yeah. Are you the type who's going to be doing that?
Finger guns?
No, getting a girl in trouble and heading off.
Oh, no. Very responsible. Pull and pray, like I always say. I don't actually say
God.
that.
I fucking hope you don't say that.
No. I heard it one time. I thought it was funny.
Have you been a bit of a ladies' man then in the past, as your career would indicate?
Going around the bars and stuff. One tends to dabble.
What ways do you dabble then?
Well, I'm more for long-term romance type of guy. I'm not much for one night stand.
That's good, eh? As a married man, I can support that theory. Mind you, I have had some dalliances way in the past, but some went rough.
Adventuring happens.
Some were a bit weird as well, I'll be honest. There was this one night I went with this elven girl. Now, she was also working the same job we were. She was like sort of getting like the end of an era she was going on about. So we had a nice little cuddle that night. Nice and simple. Woke up the next day. Voice was a lot deeper. Apparently she'd just gotten in touch with her god and decided, you know what? I'll be a bloke for a few more decades now. Weirdest thing. Didn't he look all that different? Like a little bit of a bone structure around the eyebrows, bit of the cheeks. It was the only thing that really got me was the voice.
Makes sense.
Bit of a shock.
Sudden change.
Yeah, if I weren't so hungover, it would have been more of a shock, but at that point I just had the thunder and throbs in the head.
Well, you went your separate ways?
Aye, well, like I said, we were just working. There wasn't a proper relationship there. It was just a thing to not be cold that night. I didn't have many long terms until I met Uzana. Then again, it's
you two are
because
good together.
I was moving with a job. Until then, my previous wife was Bjorn. And as you can see, I've fucking upgraded.
Yeah,
As you look over there, you see Felton is at the bar, and Bjorn just going, all right, look, I appreciate you as a customer, but either you're going to drink one of the shots you're sitting there and nursing, I'm going to have to cut you off. There are other customers who also want to use some of these glasses, okay?
Oh, he's nursing shots? Oof.
He'd
Probably
be
just
nursing
sitting
a
for
glass
one.
of wine.
A shot of wine,
Yeah.
though.
Although
Yeah.
he would sit there, and you would notice if you said that to him, you just see him drain the glass and then hold out the glass again.
There you
Another,
go.
please.
Have you noticed the lad Felric's got a bit of an eye for you?
Really? I might have been distracted by the whole mass murder thing.
I know things have been going on a bit, but you know, we've seen the quieter times. At least I've noticed. He seems to have
A
a
few
wee thing.
days.
Mind you, it might just be a bit of concern, which is natural when you talk to you. No offense.
You're concerned for my well-being?
Aye.
Why?
It's often in danger, I suppose.
Oh, it's part of the job.
Yeah. But then there's that weird thing Solin yelled out, remember? He must have done, he screamed it in your face.
When we were murdering him, but not?
Aye, when we were beating the shit out of him.
What do you say?
He was roaring on about how, Felric had the equipment for it.
Murder?
No. When he were calling you a bitch.
Ah,
Hey. And he got us a little spiel.
what? What are you suggesting?
I'm not really sure, to be honest.
You think Saloon thought that Felric was a secret girl?
Might have been. Makes sense with the Rouse. You know, Joel Axel runs his all boys club.
Ah.
Well, it's a case of, he keeps calling himself a bloke, and and we should be calling him one as well.
Yeah, I've been thinking he was like, yeah, he.
Yeah. So it just seems like a wee bit of a complex thing, you know?
Oh, yeah.
Hey. What do you think?
Well, I mean, if you could drink more wine, it'd be kind of cute. Only need one glass?
He's on the second one now.
Okay, 2 glasses.
Ah, so you like him alcoholed, right? Got you.
No, I mean, I like him to be able to eat.
That'll be a tricky one, wouldn't it? He is one of those slender assassin types.
Yeah,
It'll be tough to get a
does
proper
shower kinda
meal in him.
small. There's training.
Gotta teach him
That-
how to
that's
distend their jaw.
that's not what I meant. I mean, there's literally ways to expand your stomach capacity. And I think it involves drinking a lot of soup.
Hey. Well, I think you could have a bit of fun there, if you're that way inclined.
You think? I mean, you think he is?
I think he's got a bit of an eye for AI. I've seen ones like that. That's sort of a way, right there. I'll paint the scene for you now. It was a dusty little bar, right? Out in the sort of grasslands a bit. You know, it's the kind of thing where a door opens up and a big gout of sand and all comes in, everyone's fucking ground. But low lighting. Dark, almost dusk sort of thing. Just a bit of colour filtering through the windows. And then you've got Bjorn sitting on the stool, and he's just oogling it. His eyes are just a little bit misty. He can't really sit comfortably right now, I mean, he keeps on edging a wee bit. And he can't take his eyes off it. The curves. The beautiful, fine body of a proper malt whiskey. That's kind of a way that Felric's been looking at you when you've not been paying attention.
I've seen the look in Bjorn's eyes.
Like, it's certainly an admiration, certainly an interest. I couldn't say that it could blossom into something long term or anything, but
Yeah, it's gonna be complicated because of the work situation.
hey. Well, on the bright side, you're not in the same office, so it doesn't complicate it quite as much.
I know HR I have to talk to.
Hey. Have you had
I
any
guess Jarl Axel is HR.
Although I should probably ask, have you had vengeful exes in the past?
Vengeful is a strong word. Maybe they don't think. It's okay.
He can't even say they don't think highly of me. All I can say is they think accurately of me.
Actually, here's what I'm gonna do. Harton. I'm gonna go to the store. I'm gonna pick up some ingredients, and I'm gonna bake some chocolate chip cookies. My mom's recipe. If Ferric likes them, and then we're on.
Hey, fair enough. It goes well with a red wine anyway.
Chocolate.
Well, there we go then. That was the main topic of my chat.
Want to help me bake?
Hey, sure. I've got fuck all else to do.
Yeah, we'll just get ingredients tonight and do it tomorrow.
Yeah.
Are we busy tomorrow?
Probably not. I can't imagine a whole lot happening tomorrow.
Yeah, no fucking trolls or serial killers.
Probably be a nice, peaceful day where we can have our business as usual, and we're getting a present from Jarl Axel. I wonder what that'll be.
I bet it's going to be an explosive surprise.
I'm sure we won't see it coming. Something unexpected. Probably with a big fanfare, really get the whole neighbourhood attention.
Oh.
Horik, you get a note delivered to you.
I carefully open it and read this note.
It is a note from a very lovely woman saying that she don't half fancy you. from over at table 8. She seems to be a middle-aged dwarf woman, and when you're reading it, she gives you a little finger wiggle.
Finger wiggle?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Did this game is this game getting finger weird? I feel like this campaign just got finger weird.
Quick, kill the wizard before he gets all wiggle finger on us.
Yeah, suddenly we think everyone's a wizard. We just start, we become the true murder hobos.
That's Town of Salem.
This is slightly worrying.
He was
What?
trying to put a hex on me, or maybe
Does
he
she
was
look like
Is
she
she
could-
was a woman for you?
Yeah, does she look like she could crush him?
Oh yeah,
What, is the beard too intimidating for you?
she's taller and wider.
Think of the thighs, Horik.
Ooh.
You'll die, but it'll be worth it.
Dwarven
Your head
thighs,
is
though,
stronger
so
than
they're
a
only
melon.
about dwarven thighs, though, they're only about 2 inches long.
Yeah, but I mean,
Then it's
Horik
knee
is
and
only
all
like 2
shin.
Horik is only like 2 inches long, right? Yeah, that's a.
Yeah, be generous. 3.
It's all logs.
What was that one from Sam Riegel of Scanlan thing? It's a cube. It's only 2 inches, but in all directions.
In all yeah, that's what I was thinking of. Yes.
Not interested.
But how do you
What
show
about her
you're not
and her elven
interested?
friend?
Are you about to bring down the vengeful house of a clan?
No.
Okay, that's what I was thinking of. Tom and Jerry. Yeah, like this is Horik when he eats. He just becomes shape of food.
So are you just ignoring her, or
I'm just gonna smile a little bit, shake my head.
she pauses and then holds up a glass of ale?
I've got a better tip
A
for you,
mug of
Horik.
ale?
I've got a better idea for you. You could redirect. You could deflect missile and point it somewhere else. You haven't seen Gaddix with a woman for a while. Or ever, in fact.
Possibly never. I was gonna say,
Yeah.
yeah possibly never.
The one you might have seen, he might have made.
He's married to his work. Okay.
I know, but in some cases that can be literal and a bit worrying.
Your work is a dog that pisses fucking coffee.
He doesn't
no,
piss
it's
it,
not
he
piss.
shits it.
Yeah.
Oh, okay,
You-
my
you
mistake.
lift the tail, and it's like a pump. Like those water pumps.
Which is why only Gaddix drinks that fucking coffee.
It's mechanical.
Does everybody else drink tea at the whole party?
Yes. Apart from Bjorn.
Yeah, Bjorn
Yeah,
takes the coffee.
Yeah, Bjorn don't give a shit.
He gets a shit.
Smart dwarf. As I drink my own coffee.
Yeah, it's a little unsettling once he starts pumping out the dregs.
Yeah, when I gotta empty the grounds. Oof.
Yep. It's not a good
Is
visual.
it a replaceable filter, or do you have to ever replace it?
Well, it's you lift the tail. It's kind of like a press. You lift the tail and you squeeze it down. It's a French press,
Okay.
or the realm equivalent press.
Yeah.
Because France doesn't exist here, but so
It could.
it's a
Thankfully,
Waterdeep.
it's a glorious
press.
world.
There we go.
There is no France.
What a wonderful place.
It's a utopia. Yeah.
Yeah, what's that society with if no France meme? Let me see. I'm sure it exists. It doesn't sound good when you say it. It's a fucking meme.
Of course.
No, I'm not going to redirect her at Gaddix. That would be cruel and unusual punishment. Bjorn, on the other hand,
What is the punishment for then?
Not quite what I was looking for, but that's I think
Better one I
that's-
found.
Yeah. It's just that society if and then just futuristic painting. It's just. All the way back to Family Guy. This is Ireland before the before the invention of whiskey. It's like the Jetsons.
Well, Bjorn's is now the target, I assume.
Okay, so if you kind of point over at Bjorn, she kind of like hims and haws about it, and then kind of gives a little, kind of like you know the hand gesture where it kind of like maybe, and then eventually she kind of nods.
I
As she
he is
downs
kind
2
of a
more
six.
tankards.
Yeah, he is kind of a 6 on the scale.
She likes her men small and wiry.
She likes her men that can make food.
Mm.
Well, I mean, if things with Felric fall through, a lose there.
Yeah, Lou probably has a bit of a thing with probably more women who are shorter and rounder.
He wants to be taller for once.
So, Hork, do you loop Bjorn into this?
I suggest Bjorn goes over to her and says hello.
What
And
do
I
you-
hide in the kitchen.
The halfling tactic. Yeah.
I've got to see what they've done to the kitchen in my absence. Make sure it's still in acceptable condition.
You do find Thomas in the kitchen, and yeah, he is making some food, and it seems to be in perfect working order.
Excellent.
So, Bjorn, do you go over to the woman?
I mean, I was pointed over there to apparently do something. Not entirely sure what it does, but hello there.
Hello, handsome.
Hopefully, having a nice evening around here.
Oh, certainly. Why don't you take a seat? Let's have a chat. Get to know ye.
Well, I suppose I could probably take that feet away from the bar with the nice Bjorn. What about your? What about the light? What may? What might be the lovely lady's name be?
I was not expecting this to get this far.
What do you mean?
I wasn't.
Was that a reader or?
That was
Yeah,
me.
Okay.
That's the
Well, you get
plankton. I don't know. I wasn't expecting to get
that
this
would be
far.
Didona.
Oh, the owner. Well, I hope you're having a nice time here at the establishment. What brings you out there such a lovely night?
Yeah, thank you. Now it's about time my mic fucking wakes up. Oh, you know, I was, out and lonely and wanted to spend some time with some lovely companions.
Oh, you come to the right place, I'll say myself.
I was looking for one that could cook, but I mean, one that can drink is just good enough.
Well, I mean, our ale is made of fine grains, so I suppose it could count as liquid bread.
Aye, it's all you need, eh?
Hey. Let me go and get something from the bar, shall we?
Oh, please do.
That's probably what it's kind of where the rest of the evening is going with those two.
Right up until she just bluntly says, "Why don't you return back to my place?"
Well, I think that'll be. I think that'll cause. I think that'll cause a disturbance in the time continuum.
Bjorn
Well, I
is
mean,
Malgern's father.
The
Oh,
question
no.
is, would he go?
Sure.
I mean, either that, or theoretically, you could just invite her up to your room, considering
Yeah, I
that's
think
right
it'll probably
upstairs.
be easier that way because otherwise the timeline isn't gonna line up.
Let's just make the campaign super weird. So Lou's father is Gunther Sparks. Bjorn is Malgern's father.
Oh god.
Johnny's in there somehow. Don't forget, related to Malgern.
Johnny. Well, yeah.
Johnny.
I'm
Johnny
like
is
you.
Bjorn's cousin.
No, Johnny's a great grand nephew.
Oh god, but that just makes it
Malgern or
so
something,
much.
yeah.
That just makes it so much worse.
It does. Yeah.
With Malgard being so sad about not be able to feel like he can ever match his father, because it's basically because it's just basically Bjorn has been nothing but positive to his son.
He didn't yell at me like the other dwarves.
Yeah.
He didn't love me. My father never paid any attention to me, and he was doted on his entire existence.
Yeah.
And Harton, you missed it. Bjorn is getting some action in his room.
Oh, that's terrible. That's right beside the kids' room. Keep the
I
clanking
was
down.
thinking that.
More reason for them to switch to Torque.
Yep.
Oh, and the married couple's across the. It's across the hall though.
It's across the hall. Although it doesn't help. Thaumaturgy is a wonderful
It's better
thing.
than literally just sharing a wall.
And I mean, then the kids get a private bath.
Yep.
And is that access to a part of the turret?
I don't know why Horik is so against losing his massive room to go into a closet.
Because
Yeah,
I don't want to come out of the closet.
Well, now we find out why you weren't
All
interested
right,
in
somebody
the woman.
clip that. Yeah, that's...
Now I'm in the closet. Pull up a gun.
Now
Now
pull out
Tom
my
Cruise
gun!
is yeah.
Torque has to be careful, because one day he's going to come home and the rooms are just going to be swapped.
Oh god, it's one of those houses. It's the Acquisitions Incorporated office. Just move the rooms around, yeah.
I want to put Jeff's office in front with Jeff inside.
With Jeff in it. With Jeff inside it.
As long as I don't wake up one morning and find out I've been relegated to the privy.
We should actually get another one of those installed upstairs for Lou and Nadrax. The one downstairs is too far.
You have a window.
I know.
Gaddix has this wonderful invention. It's called a bucket. Here you go.
And so let's say chamber pots.
You
I assume-
invented the bucket?
Yeah, and yeah.
I
Oh my
assume
God.
most people have a chamber pot in their room.
Yeah, it's named after my family. My family name is Gaddix Bouquet Biswick. So it's here's the bouquet. And no, nobody. I tried.
No.
No, I got
I
No,
know.
you know
it
what?
was
We need to
forced,
do a
it was
little
forced.
extension here.
Yeah.
What we need to do is just add an extra wall to the place. That's perfect there. Spot on.
Oh, wow.
Good luck for the rest of you.
Fuck.
Well,
Yes.
sorry kids, but the chimney is going to have to do double service.
I just want to point out that I hate this. I hate everything about the what. What has this session been? We were on a
It's
high
been-
note with the whole Gunther Sparks thing, and then just
Oh, that was a low note. We're up from there.
are we though?
What, you
Talking
didn't
about
you didn't
Gunther.
like Harden inexpertly getting Lou's sexual orientation out of him?
I mean,
And then just
we all-
saying, the
we
one that's
all
asking about you,
knew.
do you like him?
Yeah, exactly what he said he wouldn't do.
Yep.
we all knew. I mean, it's
I mean,
Apparently Lou
he did
didn't.
it. I mean, Hutton did it in the elegant way.
Yeah, if he's been looking at
Like,
you.
yeah,
Not
get
he
it.
want to
Yeah.
know if you want a bonk.
Yeah.
Gaddix had an idea, but at the same time, Gaddix doesn't care. Do what makes you happy, and if he is swinging that way, then that means he won't reproduce. It's a win-win.
You're not fucking
that's
Cargo,
the
are you?
issue. You see, you weren't paying attention there. Reproduction
The
may
issue
still
is
be on the
they might
table.
be able to.
Yeah.
No, yeah, Gaddix hasn't processed that yet. He's still on the whole. Yeah, okay.
He has
Now,
not
the night-
processed the Ween Mother content.
Until
Yeah.
of course we find out that drows do celebrate National Women's Day.
Because that's not practical to him. Like, why would anyone do that? You know.
Just for fun?
Yeah. I mean, he doesn't
What-
understand
what
it.
is
He's a
this-
nerd.
Yeah, I was gonna say, what is this fun you speak of?
He somehow hasn't put that together despite the years that Uzana and Harton have been together with no kids.
Why is there a block in the middle of the wall here?
See, that's my adjustment I'm making to the house.
It's
It's
you
an
need to
extra-
talk to the guild first.
It's a new wall.
That's right. Uzana and Harton have no kids and 3 money. Yeah.
Yep.
A
Well,
actually, they
private
have, what,
path for
6 kids?
themselves.
the downside
Until
is that is
this
entirely
campaign, in which
accurate.
case-
That's entirely accurate. Right now, we do have just fucking free money.
yeah, but now you have 3 kids and no money
Yep.
And a bunch of children too.
because you're trying to plan a bunch of children.
I mean, the slight problem with you cutting that off is the fact that now there is no bath. They have to go through your bedroom or through Horik's bedroom to get to the private bath.
That's true. They have to go through Horik's bedroom.
It's not a private bath, really, if we're all
Aw.
using it. You know, there's enough loom. There's enough room in Lou's room. Maybe I'll get some stuff installed.
Oh God, is that what he calls it now? Welcome to my loom.
it's the
Welcome
the
to the
loom.
Oh no, we know exactly what he can say. He can use the greatest pickup line of Cornelius Sent.
Oh,
This is where the magic
what
happens.
the magic happens.
Oh,
We agreed that Cornelius does not have that fucking amount of confidence to say that.
Yeah, he was entirely saying it in reference to his desk. Nothing was going to
That's
happen to
awesome.
bed but this desk. This is where the magic happens.
And also,
Literally.
as you Covers pointed out, you were annoyed that I beat you to it. Is this it? Is this where the magic happens? Why, yes. This is where I write my tome.
So yes, the night winds down. Eventually, Three Strings does show up and just says, "So, I think things went relatively well tonight, then."
That's you? Oh yeah, Bjorn's gone. Well,
Yeah,
Horik, it's up to you. You're the man of the house.
there's only a little bit of dust that sometimes come down from the ceiling.
Just a little
Maybe it's
bit
another
and
pot of
very
tea.
just a little bit and very infrequently.
It appears so. Things have happened.
The most intense dwarven passion is at the pace of a slow hammer blow on an anvil. Steady, rhythmic, do not break pace.
Well,
Left, right, left, right, left.
no, I'm going to go back to
Up,
the
down,
portal
up,
after
down, down,
tonight.
VA start.
But I mean, you should probably talk to the rest of them and see if you all want to keep these two on. More permanent arrangement.
How much do they cost? Because right now we made 10 gold each after we pay Zord.
That would be the question.
Horik, find out.
They did say they did reasonably well tonight. I'm hoping that means we did reasonably well.
Yeah,
We
no,
got our total.
You did well.
We got 79 over the course of a 10-day.
So do I have 10 gold extra now or no?
It's
Not
in
yet.
the party coffer,
Okay, we're saving it.
which is actually fairly good for the take, considering you don't really have expenses.
Which shows you how unprofitable this fucking place is.
Yeah, it means next time it's probably much worse.
Unless we
Can
can
be.
do something, unless we have something that'll draw the attention to our place in some way. But when's that gonna happen? When could we possibly have such a big event that would get the whole neighborhood talking?
I'll go lie. I'll do it.
Something with, like
No, you will.
a forceful, explosive impact that would really catch attention.
What, Gaddix's room blows up tomorrow.
Not the room, no. You forgetting? We got a fucking fireball and multiple murder outside our home tomorrow.
Yeah, it happens.
Yes, Horik, if you do ask about price, Three Strings does state that they are willing to work for, as a unit, 3 silver a day. So you'd get 2 workers for 3 silver a day.
It
Oh,
cost
yeah.
us 30... Ah, fucking hell. 3 gold a 10-day.
I mean, considering how little.
I know.
That's actually pretty cheap for labor.
Yeah, I mean, if we can get it up to 100 gold per week,
Do
maybe.
they increase our profits somehow?
No, they
Yeah,
just work when
well-
we're not.
I'd
Actually,
like to point
there-
out, I'd like to point out I still have 100 gold on me.
You never bought anything.
Yeah.
But yeah, effectively it'll keep the tavern running when you all aren't out, which means that it would keep your profits up. Basically, you won't have any dips in profits from y'all having to close the tavern.
For 3 gold, seems worth it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we'll take them up on that. Because it means we can go out and earn money adventuring while they work the tavern.
Or we could find some goblins to hire so they could do it for free.
Yeah, see, we could have trained them. On-site training.
Oh, you guys had some goblins?
They could have been taught by this staff, and then we can fucking sack them once our goblins are ready.
Capitalism.
Exactly. They don't speak the language, they don't know what they're getting paid yet.
Bjorn screwed it up.
I mean, I wonder if we could expand the basement. Get some more room down there.
I mean, we'd have to check for secret passages first, I think.
Oh, should we? I mean, this place
We
has been
really
here for a while.
should, considering what we...
Yeah.
Considering we originally came up into the city through sewers into like an old halfling's home, we really should check our cellar for secret passages into the sewer.
Yeah, that's what. Let's go down there before the next 10 day.
Yeah, well, we could open up a wall down there and find our goblins.
I don't think
Oh,
their
that'd be
homing
so
instinct is that
convenient.
good. I think they're just eaten. They could easily be outdone by a rat. Unarmed.
Alright. I just want to mention it
Yes.
is about that time where I need to wrap up. I have to head off. It's 6 a.m. in the morning.
Yep, I was going to suggest the same thing
Well,
right
good
about
news. We're 9 minutes from 3 hours. So.
Yeah, 6. The sun is shining through the window.
Same. Happens at 5 here.
Tell it to fuck off.
Alright, I'll hit the button that says stop streaming.
Alright.